Love music, live sport. Talking football with Bill Young, Hugh Burns and Gerry McCabe on Rock Sport Radio.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's show. You can listen to us on DAB Digital Radio, online at rocksportradio.co.uk, via your smartphone and smart speaker. That's using the TuneIn and the Radiogram apps. And you can also watch us live. That's on Facebook, on Twitter and Periscope. Well, it's a weekend that we were talking about and hyping up quite a bit before it. And first blood goes to Celtic. Celtic comfortably winning 2-0 yesterday at Ibrox. We will talk about it in more depth. But first of all, guys, let me ask you firstly about the referee's performance. By the way, guys, we've got a poll going on. Did Bobby Madden enhance his number one, Scottish referee number one status by yesterday's performance? You can tweet us on that one. Go to Rocksport DAB. So Bobby Madden first of all, and then we'll get into the game, guys, because it'll take all night to talk about this one. Obviously, there'll be claim and counter-claim, recrimination and counter-recrimination, bull and counter-bull. So let's start with Bobby Madden first of all.
I thought it was a good game. It's easy to pull yellow cards early doors, Gerry.
Yeah.
Tackles are going to fly in the first 10-15 minutes of any old firm game. We've played them, we've watched them, we know how it works. And I thought he set his stall out. What he should have done was book Callum McGregor maybe just before half time. That was one that he did let go. But generally, right through the piece, I was very impressed with him yesterday. And you know what I'm like with referees, I've got to say, he was top notch for me, Bill.
He did a lot of the things that we actually asked referees to do in terms of he let the game flow, even when tackles were made. He didn't pull out the cards all over the place, and he did talk to players.
Easiest thing to do.
You know, he came up to players and said, "Look, just screw the Bobby."
Yeah, which players will appreciate, Gerry. Yeah. You know, and I've got to say, Willie Collum, fourth official, not a lover of them either. He officiated in there. There was once at Lenny and the manager, Stephen Gerrard, get close. And there was one time, it was quite funny because Damien Duff sprinted out the dugout right into the Rangers technical area to shout at a corner being taken down in the Copeland Road. And Willie Collum, I've never seen him look so angry. You know, sent him packing, naughty schoolboy, get back in that dugout. And, Damien Duff must have got caught up in it. Because he's run right into the Rangers technical area, Bill, to shout at the corner at Celtic were taken. But all in good spirit. It was, I think, one of the better refereeing displays I've seen, because referees now are tending not to give yellow cards early in the game, especially old firm games. It's it's blood and slaughters early doors. Tackles are flying in. The temperature's going through the roof, and I thought he had a brilliant game, the referee.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad Shug said. Shug was at the game. Shug seen the game, and he's seen him at close quarters. I only seen the highlights, seen a wee bit of the game. But I've always said, some games are better when the referee lets it flow. As long as they're nothing nasty. I would always say, see the first 20 minutes of games, 25 minutes, especially games like that, the magnitude of that game. If it's a 50-50, say, have a word on, right? Next one you out, and let it go. Then the players will say, okay, I've got off one there, so I've got to watch what I'm doing now. But it's for me, it always makes a better game, when it's no stop-start and they're pulling out cars, and players are walking about in eggshells for maybe 60, 70 minutes of the game, 75 minutes of the game. But, you're right, referees, we've had a go at them for, just booking players for nothing, just a slight wee touch, a wee roll about, it's a booking, it's a block. I always say, let the game flow, as I say, if it's nothing nasty, if it's not a dangerous one, just okay.
What did you think, Bill?
I thought he was good. I thought he was good. I thought there were a couple there that obviously, had the game been more advanced, the Callum McGregor one early on, had the game been more advanced, I think he'd have got a yellow card for that. But I thought at the time, for me, it was one of those ones. It could have gone either way. I was pleased the referee kept his card in his pocket. Yeah. The Ryan Jack one, studs were up, but I think the studs were up, but I think he hit the ground, so a lot of the momentum had kind of gone by the time he got to the player. But the studs were up, but they weren't high. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They were at kind of ground level. Yeah. And I thought that was a yellow card, but he let it go. And I guess what he did do was he looked at other decisions he had made and thought to himself, I've let that go, I've got to let this go. the Jordan Jones one, Stevie Wonder would have sent him off.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a absolutely nonsensical, stupid thing to do. And a lot of people saying that Steven Gerrard chucked his player under the bus. I don't think he did. I thought Steven Gerrard did what a manager should do, and that's be honest. And be honest in a way where if a player makes a decision to do something as rash as that in a game like an Old Firm game, you call him out for it. You know, I can understand maybe what he was trying to do in terms of, you know, show his commitment to it all. But I've said all week last week, and I'll say it again now, I don't believe you. We've spent, in real life, we've spent the last God knows how many years fighting extremism. I don't think you have to be extremist making a tackle or doing anything else.
I think, to be fair, the game's dead then anyway. If that had been 0-0, Jenny, and it was, you know, really at the nitty-gritty bit of the game, then there'd have been more made of it. It was like kind of over in a flash because it.
But it was brutal.
Yeah.
It was
what I'm saying is the stadium was kind of emptying anyway. There wasn't any intensity in the game at the time, Bill, and there was no need for it for the player. I'm not backing the player up. But
good, because you know what will happen if you do.
It seemed to be that it was over in a flash. He made a bit of a toolie sell. It was just a bit of a mess.
Well, it's a mess in two ways. He ended up leaving the stadium in crutches.
Yeah.
He did limp off, and I seen he was injured. I didn't know that. Is that right? Well, he's done his
He left the stadium.
I think Stevie Gerrard summed it up well. You don't win over Rangers fans by going and doing that last minute of a game when you're 2-0 down and there's no need for it. You do things on the park, you then get the Rangers fans on your side, not by kicking people like that.
I have to say, I thought Callum McGregor was fortunate that he didn't get a yellow card early on, but I think it was the right decision from the referee, because if he had got a yellow card early on, he was off the park later on for simulation.
Yeah, would they have done that if he was on a yellow card?
Well,
you don't know, but you're right.
I don't know, but it would have been 2 yellows and he'd have been off the park with a red.
It could have easily been booked. Get back to the boy, Jordan Jones, and I was listening to Stephen Gerrard, and he was quite right. It was a tackle for the fans.
There was but that's not how you win the fans over.
No, exactly. He's right. But you know, you're 92nd, 93rd minute. You're 2-0. You've 2-0 down. You've lost the game. Now he's injured and he'll be suspended. And I think it was. You can say frustration of him, but it was just obviously it was red mist that came down. He says, "Oh, we're beat 2-0, so I'm just going to have a whale at this guy."
Have a go.
That's what he done.
I think a lot of frustration and no playing.
And Steven Gerrard, he's quite really. He says he'll find it hard, difficult to get back in my team. Yeah. And that's the way to deal with it.
Yeah, but let's hope he doesn't make the boy a scapegoat for things that went wrong throughout the day. And I don't think he will do that. I don't think Stevie Gerrard is of that ilk. I think he'll say, right, okay, Jordan, you just made it an absolute farce of it, basically. It was late in the game.
A farce of yourself.
Yeah, a farce of yourself. That's a good one, isn't it? So, yeah, it was at the time of the game when the game was done and dusted, and by chance it was down in the corner near the Celtic fans anyway. It was a long walk off, I've got to say. But it was an embarrassing walk off.
Yeah, I would say you're right, Shug.
You know,
it's stupid.
And I've made that walk from there. Yeah. I remember my early doors getting sent off against Aberdeen.
More than once, I should imagine.
I thought when you were getting substituted.
No, you had to leave at the halfway line in the day.
Easy there, boys. But how embarrassing is it getting the hook now and you need to go for the nearest point of relief, as you would say.
I know.
Hey, and you're getting pelters, aren't you, away from the away fans. That's quite embarrassing.
Right, guys, as you'd expect, a lot of people getting involved tonight. Gentleman Jack, 8th minute or 80th minute, there is excusing McGregor being booked for his tackle on Arfield. Then we leave his dive later. No, we've dealt with both of them. We haven't escaped anything. I said that if he'd have been booked early on, he was on 2 yellow cards with a simulation and he was off with a red. So we're not avoiding anything. That said, Rangers were poor, didn't deserve to take anything from the game. Ross Whitehead, awfully inconsistent in the application of the laws of the game. Danny in the ghetto bottled the big early decision. Celtic players should have been at least booked for the challenge in Arfield. And then what's that? To then send off a Rangers player for a similar tackle is extraordinary. There was no comparison between Jordan Jones's tackle and McGregor's tackle early on, in my view.
Yeah.
You two have played the game. Would you agree with that?
Totally agree.
No comparison.
It was assault.
None.
It was a volley. If you'd have done that in the street, you'd have got arrested.
That's very true, actually.
With all the trouble in Glasgow on Friday night, I believe he did well to keep the game on, going and calm situation down. If he started throwing cards all over the place, fans and players would have got more aggressive during the match. That's a refriend Liam Telfer. and we'll talk about his team a wee bit later on because he's probably baying for blood for Mr. Levine, but we'll get back to that. Guys, keep them coming in. We'll read them out. Because we give our opinion on here doesn't make us right and you wrong. At Rocksport DAB is the address on Twitter. Listen, if you want to phone in even, you haven't got any info, there's some out there. Lizzie's draw. If you want to phone in, I'm more than happy to take your calls. 0333 9442, 0333 9442 if you want to call in tonight. Right, let's talk about the game specifically, and obviously Celtic going away 2-0 to the better. Rangers getting caught with the second goal, trying to retrieve something when it was still 1-0. I got pelters yesterday because I said that Rangers' Connor Goldson gifted Celtic the first goal. And somebody said he was on the halfway line. How can it be a gift? Blah, 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 blah. If you don't have to work too hard to score a goal, for me, it's a gift. Yeah. And Celtic did all the right things in the right way, but really didn't have to work for it, Gerry.
No, it was a poor ball, and he's giving the ball away. So he's giving it away. Mickey done very well because he drives in. I think it was Tavernier was behind him, but he's cut in and great reverse. It was a great run by Edward. You know, you'd expect him to make that run. I thought the boy Katic either has to go with him, or he stepped up too late because he just timed his run. And then again, when Edward's through there, you'd always fancy him. I think, you know, I did say if this guy plays, you know, Celtic will get a chance because he comes alive around about the box. I know sometimes you look at him, you're saying is he interested in the game, but I tell you what, he's very calm and composed in those situations. And yeah, Steven Gerrard's, I mean, Golson will be disappointed that he's gave the ball away, and it's just over the half.
I don't think he got over it. I thought Golson's game deteriorated straight away and never recovered. I watched him, every ball he went for after that in the air, he was beaten, and he was winning them previously. I thought he looked shaky. I thought he looked nervy. I just didn't think he recovered from it. And as somebody of his quality and his experience, I thought he should have, because he's a guy that kind of can be a steady and stabilising influence in the best of times. But yesterday, when that goal happened and he was culpable, I thought his game just went to pieces.
It was highlighted because Celtic scored from it. Simple as that. If Celtic hadn't scored from it, I don't think they'd been saying much about it. I think Steven Gerrard would probably the wee go and he'd have go to himself about it. I think,
we'd have been saying much about it on this programme because we've made plenty of Christopher Ayers errors.
Yeah, of course, but I'm saying that resulting in the goal then is going to be highlighted more. I think Golson knows himself. He made a mistake, and you're right, I don't think he had the best of games after that. I think he was very unsettled in the game.
Hugh, you were there. What was your thoughts on the Golson giveaway?
Well, he gives the ball away in the halfway line, you know, basically, and he's trying to get back. Katic doesn't know whether to come out, play him off. Initially, when the ball went through to Edward, it looked offside. It turned out I was sitting with young Ronnie Charters for STV, and he showed me a caption right away, Sky Sports caption, dead on line, he's onside. And if there's one guy you want 1-on-1 with the goalie, it's Edward. He was magnificent yesterday, Edward. He led the line. He just looked a top drop. It looked like, you know, taking up the mantle for Dembele.
Yeah.
He looked that tight, you know. And if you're a Rangers fan, you don't want Edward to be 1-on-1 with your goalie because he looks like scoring. His body language, and he never looks as though he's under any pressure. He always looks like he's the coolest guy in the stadium, and he always hits the target. Or 9 times out of 10 hits the target. It was a goal that you could feel it bubbling and coming. To be honest with you, you know, it was stupidity getting the ball away. Tav gets caught on the wrong side of Mickey Johnson. The ball goes into the box, and for me, Bill, he's going to score. He's going to hit the target, and we were 1 down and started to chase the game. Yeah. You know, the game in general, you know, we was well just going straight in about it. I was there. I sat with Bob Smith. We did it for the studio, and you know, at no time did I feel as if my team were going to win the game, and that was fair.
Haven't Jermaine Defoe start? A lot of people are questioning that rather than Alfredo Morelos. But let me ask you this: whether it had been Morelos and whether it had been Defoe, Morelos, I feel, if you like, gets himself into positions and did when he came on where he can accept the ball easier. Whereas Defoe kind of gets in behind people and you have to find him. Where were those balls going to come from? Because till he brought on Jordan Jones and Ojo, who were the wide men that were the suppliers?
Well, initially when I had I was in the press room before it, got the sheets, find out who was playing. You know, the big shout was Morelos didn't start, Jordan Jones didn't start. we wouldn't really start with a recognised wide guy, where, I think when you look at the two full-backs of Celtic right now, for me, I think we could have had a go at them, and questions could have been asked by, just a flush 4-4-2, go wide and what have you, and forget the diamond. But I've got to say something as well in the press room last night, and Steven Gerrard has got this aura about him and what have you, and I thought he handled it well. But a lot of the press guys are very, very timid, Gerry. They don't want to ask. And again, I'm not blowing Bob Smith up, but he was the guy that asked the question, why did you play Defoe rather than Morelos? And the simple question was, I wanted to put a freshness up through the middle towards the Celtic centre-backs. So Bob asked the question. A lot of them are stand back, Bill. They don't want to ask the question because that was the big one in everybody's lips. Why did you leave Morelos out? The place came alive a little bit when Morelos went out for a warm-up, got him on the park. But for me, Steven Gerrard is still learning the game. Fantastic footballer, still learning how to be the complete manager, which eventually, through time, he's hoping to do. He knew that he got it wrong because he had said the system has won games before. Whether they've won games against Celtic, I don't think, because Ryan Kent ran the show the last time he was there, and when he was playing wide, or just off the striker. We just looked disjointed. You can have one or two players no day in the business, Gerry, as you know. But when you've got 10 players, 9 players, take the goalie in Flanagan, who he gave pass marks to. Take 9 players in an Old Firm game, Bill. We didn't have a player.
Well, the goalie stopped at being 5.
Of course he did. So Flanagan did well. Again, Forrest done nothing. He got a hook. He doesn't seem to show up in Old Firm games. Yeah. But generally, the shape didn't look right. So that was in everybody's thoughts and everybody's lips before the game started. And I kid you not, the Celtic right back had 100 yards between him and John Flanagan throughout the first half. There was nobody in front of the Celtic right back, and it looked bare down that right hand
So my question again was, who was going to be the supplier for whether it would have been Defoe or Morelos?
Balls coming in for any angles. I don't know if it had been Morelos. Then you're expecting, just to get in behind and work that bit harder, and balls maybe going into channels where they've got to go up with Defoe's feet. It wasn't really sticking at Defoe either. But on the flip side of that, the two centre-backs at Celtic were running about with lads.
Well, let's go to that, Gerry, because that was the area that everybody identified as being potentially flawed. Because Julian, it was his first. The back four generally. Yeah. It was El Hamid's first Old Firm game. I thought he did okay.
Julian's as well.
Julian's first Old Firm game, and ball and goalie. So 3 out of the 4 in the back 4 were making their Old Firm debuts. Was it a question of them having more confidence and assurance and getting better support from their teammates? Or was it a question of Rangers just not putting them under any kind of real pressure to see whether they would crack or not?
Well, I think that's where Steven Gerrard's made his decision. Who's the best substitute to bring on, Morelos or Defoe? And I think he's went with Defoe to start the game. I know he's saying the freshness, but he's very clever in the box, and thought maybe he could out Fox, Julian and Beaton, who were in there, and the Celtic defenders. And I felt maybe that's what he thought. He's saying, well, he's a more experienced player. He'll be able to handle these guys are just coming in. These guys are first Old Firm game. Let's try and catch them. And it didn't work for him. As I say, he brings in Morelos. Morelos is fresh as who. When they first come on, he knocked the ball. I think it was by Beaton.
He did. Had a shot. Yeah.
He had a shot. So whether he played Morelos first or not, it's Steven Gerrard, that was his decision. That's what he went along with. But I think the Julian boy rose to the occasion. He's had a bit of criticism since coming in, saying 7 million Celtic have paid for him. The full back, we know he's got a bit of pace, and I think one time he got back, he had a great tackle. And I think it was the second half. Was it the second half?
Ball and goal.
No, the first. Sorry, the right back.
Hamid.
The ball came in. I think it was Defoe was just ready to play it, and he's a great sliding tackle. Probably get the confidence from that, but Celtic had to stand up yesterday, and that was my biggest fear. They were in the air, and a couple of the ball and goalie, the stick he's been getting, the Julian, with the freeze in this game. But no, they never. You can maybe say that Rangers never put enough pressure on them, but I think you've got to give Celtic credit because they were compact. They flooded the midfield as well. Young boy Mickey Johnson came in, Forrest came in. They made it difficult for Rangers in there. Tavernier, when he bombs forward, and I think Celtic looked at that as well. He bombs forward because if you remember the goal Edwards scored at Ibrox, the 3-2. Celtic broke down that
big gap in that area.
Big Dembele played a great first time ball out to Edouard. He cuts in front and he curls it, and that's what when you look at Johnny Hayes. It was sort of a similar.
2 goals came for that area.
Yeah. It was it.
Yep.
And maybe that's it. It's all right saying Tavernier's going good at, when he's going forward.
But we've said that from the gut to Rangers that he's great going forward, but he leaves a lot to be desired defensively.
Clever players will play in that. Celtic have obviously worked in that.
Yeah.
But again, getting back to it, I know the last questions now because Rangers have lost the game. Should Morelos have started? And after scoring his winner Thursday night, I actually thought he would have started with Morelos, but he's looked at them in training saying, right, Morelos is probably better coming on than Defoe. It would take maybe Defoe a wee bit of time to get into the game. That's how he started.
But listen, you're the Rangers manager to make big decisions. The big decisions yesterday backfired. They didn't work. He's hoping that he's going to learn from it. That's what they pay him for, to make decisions and make shape.
But here's what I don't understand, Hugh, and I'm not being critical of Steven Gerrard as such, because I don't know what his game plan was. He knows and his players know. And yesterday I said to somebody who was talking to me about it, who do you criticise? Do you criticise him for getting it wrong, or do you criticise them for not doing what he told them? Because we don't know which the case is.
Well, exactly.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. And this is something that I will ask. And I think it's a valid question. He's beaten Celtic twice at Ibrox last season. He must know what he thinks he got from his players that made that happen. Now, if the fact was that that Rangers didn't have Kent, so what's the next best thing? It's got to be Jordan Jones starting. The next best thing. Somebody will run at people. Chris Boyd made a great point in Sky yesterday. He said Celtic have got 3 or 4 players that can run and take 3 players out all at once. He said Rangers haven't got that. He said they haven't got anybody that runs and takes 3 players out and leaves spaces. Celtic have. And that's a very good point for me.
No, you can't take players out if you're not playing players wide. That's
the point he was making. But he said even from the midfield, if you look at Christine, you look at McGregor and people like that,
they get beyond,
when they run,
they get beyond.
They take players away and they take players out so that there's that space for other people to run into.
I was impressed. I was impressed with Christie again yesterday. He had a great shot at first half. It dipped just over the McGregor. Hits it good. He hits it and he dips. His shots dip. But listen, it's one of those games. Celtic turned up, Rangers didn't turn up. That's the most disappointing thing.
It's disappointing because it reminded me of the first game at Celtic Park.
Very similar.
It reminded me of the first game at Celtic Park where you weren't sure if Rangers were actually there.
Yeah, I know. But again, Rangers have got better, obviously, under Gerrard for then. And their start to the season has been decent because this is... this time last year, I think they're better off points-wise.
By about 4 points.
Yeah, so, listen, the season isn't make or break yesterday, but it puts a stamp down to say we've still got a
Celtic
massive
are still
gap.
the best team in the country.
Listen, let me tell you something. You're right, it doesn't make or break the season. But we've said from the start, and I'm going to say it again, if Rangers have really improved and Rangers can beat the teams that they dropped points against last season, it makes the Old Firm games pivotal. And that means you have to win your home games.
Yeah, I know, but
Rangers didn't.
I know, but you're talking about games that...
No, there's no defending it.
No,
they didn't.
You're talking about games that, last year, we wouldn't have won and all that. But are Rangers not good enough to go and win at Kilmarnock? Should be good enough to go and beat Kilmarnock. Never mind the last minute goal.
Well, do you not think they should have been last season?
Well, again, you've got to give them a bit of time to get into the job and get better players in. But so what I'm saying is...
2 years, 3 years, 4 years...
Maybe they're getting maybe a wee pat in the back, especially off the fans. This time last year we wouldn't have won that and blah, blah, blah. Right, OK. The games are there to be won. Rangers, let's be honest here. Rangers have played Legia Warsaw. The best team they've played in 11 games. Yesterday was the 12th game, I think. Right? Rangers have not beat fantastic teams to get where they are, Bill. Let's be honest. They beat Premier League teams and St Joseph's and...
but you can only knock over what's in front of you.
I'm talking about quality, Bill.
You're going off at a bloody tangent.
No, I'm not going off at a tangent. They've not played great teams to get where they are. That's what I'm saying. That's plain and simple, Bill.
No, what I think's happened, Shug. Celtic were never going to go there and put in an performance that they did twice at Ibrox. Lenny wouldn't have put with that. The players should never have put with that. Pride, because they come in for some stick in the last two games.
Gerry, I agree with you. I'll tell you what was missing in Rangers' team that Celtic had in barrel loads yesterday. Character.
Well, I think the Rangers team went into this saying, right, we've had a great start to the season, so have Celtic, but the last twice Celtic have came here, they've not turned up, and maybe they're expecting that again. Like, we'll just go out.
But Gerry, even for the kick-off,
they put it at the bottom.
Big Edward put it away in the top of John Flanagan, Bill. It's like a rugby game. Let's play into touch. And he was asked, why did you do that? He says, the last time we came here, we were mamby-pambying with the ball at the back. Yeah. We gave the ball away, we lose a goal. He says, we knew all week we were working to play in their half. And that's exactly
I think Lenny, you've got to give Lenny great credit.
That's exactly what he said.
And what added to the
Celtic... Because everybody was like that in the state. What's he doing? It was, honestly, it was Celtic.
Hearts did it the week before.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be...
Why not? Why not? Sometimes you get about 20 passes back in your half.
And you've no went anywhere.
I don't know who it was. It might be you, but I think it was you. I was telling Hugh, the average length of time that the team that kicks off holds the ball from kick-off is 90 seconds.
Really? And then there's always a chance of a mistake in there,
what you do is you punt the ball up as close to the corner as you can. They're taking a throw in. They're deep in their own half, and you just get on top of them.
That's what we've done. We've done it when we played. We says, put it in there. Put it in there and we'll squeeze the game up. And that's what you've done. But as saying, Celtic, I felt, they said, right, what they to add to the last two performances, let's get in their faces. Because if you stand off Rangers and let them play, they could punish you. Vice versa. So Celtic will say, right, we'll turn the tables a wee bit. Because I've seen teams come in and within Celtic's faces, they give them a bigger problem. They give them a different problem. When Celtic don't get their, their fluent football playing, their passing and moving. I think Celtic went there and saying, right, let's get in and try and win the wee battles first. Let's go in. And I know McGregor will get stick about his tackle, but I was delighted to see McGregor because I don't see him tackling.
Well,
I'd like to see Forrest get in for a tackle. See
the first game at Ibrox. What set the tone?
The Andy Halliday.
Correct.
Andy Halliday tackle on and Cham. Early doors, in their half, pushed in, and just exactly the same thing happened against Rangers yesterday.
So, I mean, the situation, by the way, Greg Taylor, Celtic have agreed terms, a fee for him.
Well, that's a great move for that.
Henry and Miller will not be part of the deal, so they don't go to Rugby Park.
Right, okay.
It's a cash-only deal.
Well, I can't see Kilmarnock, wanting likes of the boy. Well, Broadfoot's away, and the boy Calvin Miller, he was at Dundee last year, I think.
Somebody asked Lenny yesterday again in the press conference, and they all but said it was over the line. He says there's one or two things to be tied up. He says, but he didn't say it wasn't going to happen.
I think the boy wanted to move. He wants, it's his time now. He's got a wee bit of recognition. He's in the Scotland setup. And as I say, I've watched him a few times last season. And I thought he was probably
he's very tidy.
Apart from Tierney being injured, but he was probably the best left back in the country.
Aye, without a doubt.
Hugh, it's a hard thing to swallow for any of the old firm teams when they lose a fixture, whether it's Celtic or Rangers. Neither of them want to lose that tie. Yeah. Is it made worse for Steven Gerrard and Rangers because it comes ahead of an international break?
Yeah, I thought about that.
And they've got 2 weeks to sit and stew.
Yeah, very difficult. You want to go out in the back of a win. You want to go out on a good performance. What it will give is time to digest, do the steward's inquiry. How did this happen? It happened on. I think what he wanted to say to the press and the listening fans yesterday after it was, that's the shape I picked, and I felt he had the quality within the team to adjust to the way he wanted them to play. Now, the bottom line then is, the manager's then picked the team, he's picked the shape, and he's asked the players to go and play that shape. Now, they cross that white line. Gerry mentioned the word there, battle, right? And in any game, it doesn't need to be the Old Firm game, but the Old Firm games, your battle's bigger. You're playing in your particular area of the park, be it your left winger, I was playing right back, you're playing against your left winger, and it's a battle. Everybody's got a battle. And see if you have a wee chance that you get ahead of your battle, everything all comes together. Folks start winning battles, folks start seeing things, tackles go in, crowd are up, managers out, everybody's in tap, the way Rangers have won there before. That didn't happen yesterday. The flip side of that happened. We stood off, we didn't get tight, we didn't press. Celtic done to us what we've done to them in our half. That was hard to take for the Rangers fans yesterday. Very, very hard to take. Because Rangers turned up there yesterday. OK, you're saying you can only beat who's in front of you. My argument with that is, if we'd had beat one or two other really good European teams building on a great run, what I'm saying is St Joseph's, who was before Legia? after St Joseph's.
No, I can't remember. I can't remember.
It's not but what I'm saying, Bill, is
I know what you're saying.
The form maybe just wasn't as good as what we thought it was.
But it was Michelin.
And the Michelin away performance was probably the best.
But let's look at last season where they played better standard teams in Europe and got through to the group stages and played decent standard teams. Sometimes they still drop points against daft teams like Killie.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Dundee.
Yeah, I'll get you that.
So it was character yesterday. Rangers had no character. Yeah. They didn't go there wanting to win the war. They didn't. Whether it was certain players that were playing for the first time who just didn't adapt to the occasion or whatever, I don't know.
You know what's probably going to be easier for the manager, Gerry? And you'll have sat in and you'll video, analyse things after games, and you watch things and, right, let's stop that there. Why did you do this? Why you've not tucked in, you've not spoke to your centre-back, but there's no many positives that the manager can take out of yesterday. So see when he's watching that video, that's a horror show. That's a horror show. Because you can only get better after that performance.
There were more Celtic players up for it. Celtic squeezed the ball in the right areas, and that's what they've done. And I'm not just saying, Celtic will get better players. I don't care what you say about the Rangers signing.
Yeah, but Celtic had better players last season at the 2 games at Ibrox, and Rangers still beat them. And it was because of attitude and character.
So you've got all the ability in the world, you can have the best players, but see if you know how to apply yourself right, you've not got that desire. Which is my point from yesterday. Celtic done, as Hugh saying, Celtic done what Rangers done to Celtic in the last 2 games at Ibrox. Celtic in their face and saying, right, once we win these wee battles, we start to play. Because I still feel Celtic with the better players. What they say about Rangers signing, blah, blah, blah. Stephen Gerry came in for a bit of criticism for starting Kamara. Kamara's not going to get in there and win battles. Kamara's good when you've got a lot of the ball and you're playing and you're on top. He's a very good player. I'm not going to take that away. But even I was surprised, I must admit, I was surprised at McGregor and the way the work rate and the way they're getting about things, because I've always been a critical McGregor. I don't think he puts enough tackles in for a midfield player.
I think Kamara got his start on the back of last year's Old Firm game, last season's Old Firm game, where he played really well. I don't think he's been playing good enough, Kamara, because he's probably not been given his chance. He's been in and out, Bill.
Well, has the manager been making a mistake by rotating too much?
After an Old Firm game, you've got the inquest. You need to know what you've done right, what you've done wrong. Stephen Gerrard looked hurt yesterday. He looked very, very, very hurt. Came in, sat down, took it on in the chin. Again, learning curve from young manager. But scrutiny is, everything in an Old Firm game. The inquest is there. Everybody wants to ask questions. And yesterday, he could see that he was really, really sore, hurting that you've lost in the manner you've lost as well. Lost 3-2, it's been a great game. Celtic scored the last minute goal. What can you do about it, Bill? You dust yourself down. But it was in the manner of it. And he was a competitive midfield player himself, fantastic, wonderful footballer. And I'm sorry, but Rangers didn't have anybody close to a Stephen Gerrard in the park yesterday. And the middle of the park is so important. Anywhere's important, but middle of the park, again for me, said it yesterday. Foster looked secure. Big Julian looked class. Brown ran the middle of the park, and Edward was different class up front. Let's go the spine of the team again. I always talk, build round the spine. And the spine of Celtic yesterday was top notch fairly on. And we weren't. Okay, McGregor was on it. Connor wasn't on it. We had nobody in the middle of the park, and we're playing with Defoe, who, at the body didn't come to him that much, and he worked hard. Great chance in the first half, by the way. Manager highlighted that. There wasn't a lot of chances in the first half for both teams, but Defoe's got a great chance, and he's hit it straight at Foster. See if he hits it low and hard to a corner. It's a goal. Rangers 1-up against a run of play, tails up, and you go in happy days at half time. But it just didn't happen. It didn't flow. The quality was limited. The application was limited. And the word that Big Wallace we used, and it's renowned in Old Firm games, get the battle fever on, get the character. Character's a massive word. You started with it half an hour ago. Character, you've got a chance. You don't show character, you get swallowed up by Old Firm.
I think that's the thing that's going to rankle Stephen Gerrard more than anything. Look, let me tell you, I still think Rangers can push Celtic this season. And I really do think that, because I think they're a better team than they were last season. And I think the manager's hurt will be transferred downwards.
Yes, big time.
Yeah, look,
I really believe that.
That was Rangers' biggest test. They failed.
It'll be transferred downwards, and I still think that this will be the closest league that we've had for a while.
I think they'll be up there challenging, but as I says, Celtic players know what they know. To go to Ibrox now, they can't even 2 or 3 seasons ago when they're steamrolling them. They know they've got to battle for everything, and I think that was a game plan. Go in there, get in their faces, let us be the team. It takes a game of them. Don't let them get the ball down and play, because Rangers usually done that with Celtic. And as I say, Celtic turned the tables a wee bit. Then once they get settled into the game, Celtic were always in control of the game.
The encouraging thing though, Gerry, you're right. Celtic were always in control of the game, but it wasn't until they were gifted that goal that they had able to break Rangers
goals
down.
Change games.
You're absolutely right.
The first goal. Then Celtic get the confidence from that. Right, we've came here. We're the champions, and that's what they're saying in themselves. We've let the fans down twice here already. We've let the club down. Let's play in a different performance today, and let's battle for everything we get. It wasn't a great game, but what if Celtic out at Celtic battled for it?
But you're saying, Bill, it was gifted the first goal, and in many ways,
if you don't have
still had a lot to do, right now.
Yeah, he did have a lot to do, but it wasn't difficult. What he had to do.
Bill, you could tell with the atmosphere. You could tell with players' touches. Maybe they can't always tell watching it live on the telly. Being at the game, you could tell. You could see the balls that were going astray, the passes. Well, you don't see everything. The same game in the telly you watch at the game. You can't see it. I'm telling you, I do it often, regular. You can't see it. It's a different watch at the game, because you can feel it at the game that players are not having a good game. Can't you feel that in the telly? You can see fear in people's faces at the game, especially an Old Firm game. You can see people's body language at a game. You can't see that in the telly. I'm telling you, completely different watching that. And for the first minute, Celtic were on it, we weren't on it. And in the telly, you'll see the game and all, but it's different, Bill. You get a feeling of it's not going to happen here.
Right, well, I know what to do now.
Do you know what we'll do?
I'll take your ticket and you watch it on the telly.
No, what we'll do for the confidence as well.
You've just taught yourself at any future passes.
I've been listening to you to your post-mortems. Because you know I've done that yesterday on the phone for about a couple of hours. Listen to me. Mickey Johnson get slated.
Get out.
Mickey Johnson.
Beat it. None
Take you half an hour, Bill. 35 minutes.
Hear anything you've got to say. Get to
35. Get to
my team won the game yesterday, so I'm going to have my say.
Oh, that is definitely it. Anyway, Shug, what do you think about Ryan Kent?
Half a Hamilton's
what do you think about Ryan? What do you think about Ryan Kent possibly going to the Rangers? Nobody can hear you. Your microphone's turned off.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk,
if
you're going to talk, well, he's Superman, Ryan Kent. So if you're going to talk Keith, you're getting turned off.
Right, what was he saying?
Mickey Johnson got thrown in at the deep end, Ibrox, a couple of times, and the boy went away and he says, "Look, I need to do better. I need to work hard." And I was delighted for the boy, because
but Gerry's been getting regular games. He was lobbed in with about 2 games under his belt before.
But now then he realised what it was all about.
See, if you break my equipment, I'm over there. Stop punching my microphones.
And the boys went away and worked, and that's how he's number one. He's number one choice for Lenny in that area. Ahead of Sinclair and whoever. And he's gave the boy a chance. And I must admit, I had my wee bit doubts to Mickey Johnson. Was just a wee, flash player, 2 or 3, he'll beat 2 and 3 men, no end product. But the guy's learning the game now, and he's beginning to score. He's scoring goals, and he's creating. And I was delighted for the likes of the boy yesterday going to Ibrox, because it was another big tough test for him. And for me, he passed it with flying colours, because they went 2-0.
I'm getting very bored now. I'm getting very bored.
By the way, there's parties.
Well, I've been listening to you to him, and you just get beat 2-0.
Hi, but am I sitting here defending Rangers?
No, but
neither am I.
He's got off lately.
We didn't, because Rangers Celtic didn't have a lot of chances.
It could have been 5 if it wasn't for the goalie.
Well, the goalie
made 3 good saves.
He made a good save for Julian, Bill.
He made 3 good saves. He made 2 in rapid succession with his feet.
The Julian one was a save.
But there was another one as well. There was 3 decent saves.
It was never going to be 4.
Who was in the second half for Rangers when he just shot? It was just after the second half, and Big Forrester was like that, and he pops it back in the corner. I'm saying myself,
I think it was Ojo.
Ojo. Hold the ball.
It was pretty poor for the big goalie. But I'll tell you something, Gerry. I was looking at the goalie. He's colossal.
He fills the goals, doesn't he? I saw him at Southampton.
And again, I heard today. In fact, I was actually, I was watching it at Sizeum, and I was talking to people in the gantry, and they were saying that am I right in saying that Lenny tried to move on Scott Bain when he was at Hibs? that he didn't fancy him at Hibs. Was Scott being at Hibs? Aye. And Lenny didn't
fancy him. He was in loan to Dundee at Hibs.
Right, well, there you are. And he thinks that's why he's went down the pecking order, Bill, where they've went with Foster.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because Craig Gordon said ahead of yesterday's game, I'll know where I stand with the manager if I'm not selected to play.
Right, well, there you go.
So he's obviously got 2 goalies now, one that he doesn't rate and one that's not happy.
It's a difficult position, isn't it? You know, I mean, Craig Gordon was number 1 for years, and Bainey got his chance, and he took his chance and kept Craig Gordon, and now they brought somebody in place of the 2 of them. You know, who's going to be his number 1? I think he's going to be
you know, it's all very well for 40 minutes in. You know, it's hard for us to be sitting with you. I felt the flu coming on the day. I tried to get off it.
I actually thought there'd been a sick line in.
But the big man,
he did actually send it. I said, what have you got, McCabe flu?
No, I texted him last night. I was in the boozer having a couple of beers trying to get the flu. But it wasn't coming
I actually
my way.
phoned Big Gerry. I said, Gerry, you might be in standby tomorrow. I don't think Bill will turn up either.
Well, wait a minute. I could have done a Gerry Collins and went, I never seen the game. You remember that last?
Sadly for Gerry, and I phoned him, I'm not here tomorrow. Sadly, I've got other things that I need to look after. But
who's on, Alec?
Aye, Alec will be on with him. So
You know,
Alec will climb up his backside.
But wait a minute.
Is
You
this
know,
deliberate?
as much as we're sitting here, I'm not sitting wanting to be.
You keep pulling your chair away.
Be here palsy-walsy with you, right? Because your team beat my team yesterday, so don't think for a minute you're going to get off light.
It's not the first time they beat your team.
What I'm going to say is, we've no became a bad team overnight.
Oh, exactly.
I don't agree with you saying that he's okay. In some departments, he might be a bit stronger than us. Right, okay? And we'll probably look at that later on. We'll go who can get in the Rangers team, who we get in the Celtic team, but vice versa, who we got good enough to go and play. Wasn't that long ago we didn't have one player that probably wasn't good enough to get in the Celtic team?
I say we
have got better than that.
But I
right?
still say Celtic are the top.
Collectively,
the top
Celtic
dogs.
are still there to be beat, right? They're there to be beat because you don't win 8 in a row being bad players, and there's a lot of winners in that team as well.
Yeah.
Very difficult to move them for going for 9, which will be hard for everybody to accept. But Rangers.
Yeah, but hang on a minute.
Rangers will
you can win 8 in a row if your main rivals are missing for like 4 of them.
That wasn't your fault. You're missing.
That's not the point.
Rangers. You know it's going to be interesting.
It's not the point. The point's not that. He's just saying you don't get 8 in a row by being bad players.
Gerry.
But you don't get 8 in a row when 4 of them are won when your main rivals are not
Rangers
there.
need to win every league game again to the next Old Firm game, and they need to go to Parkhead and do.
They've got
to you what you done to us yesterday. And again,
Celtic will be knowing that. Celtic will not be saying. Celtic will not be sitting back in this.
No, not at all. No, they were asked that yesterday.
They're delighted. They got the 3 points. Their biggest rivals. It was a big test for them. Everybody thought Rangers were going to win it yesterday. Yeah, and Rangers have been in great form as well. Celtic went there and put down a wee marker saying, "Hey, we're still the team to beat in Scotland."
Well, after Lennon came in, I told you before we come on, he particularly had a go at Charles Patterson for Sky Sports and highlighted Charles, and Charles had a face like a beetroot because I was always turning looking at big Charles Patterson to say, Charles, you never even gave me a mention, basically hardly ever gave me a mention pre-match on Sky. And he says, by the way, I'm not just having a go at Charles Patterson, I'm having a go at every one of these in here. You write the things about, I said, I don't read it, but I'm told what's going on. He says, do you not think for a minute my players weren't charged up during the week? Thinking, we'll show them by the way at the weekend. He says, you've actually done us a turn. You've actually all done us a turn by what yous were printing and what our players were reading. To galvanise us to come here and win the day. He says, so I've never seen Lennon as happy after a game.
Yeah.
I get happy.
That's what relief does for you.
Well, I know that. But again, they've had a go at him. They've had a go at the coaching staff. They've had a go at the players. But they keep winning games, Bill.
No, they don't just keep winning games. They've scored more goals than anybody else.
Listen, me one, right? I was expecting Rangers to and go and run them really close yesterday. I'm expecting Rangers to give them a game at home. And again, I went on about 850 fans in the corner. And that's a massive winner. It wasn't for yesterday, but generally that helps Rangers not having that Celtic in full because they make a hell of a noise. They do make a hell of a noise. But yesterday, it wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have mattered if there was no Celtic fans here yesterday. Where if we'd have played the way we played, and we all have off days. We all have off days. But it's highlighted even more when it's an Old Firm because everybody in the country want to talk about it. They want to dissect it. They want to tell you how it should have been. And, I went doing trackside with Bob and the manager scooted away in his big car now and they're going, probably just better going down the road out the road. With the international break coming up, he's probably away to Liverpool, I would think, because his chums were waiting on him in his car and he was away.
I'm delighted Lenny's had a goal, because they've treated Steven Gerrard's come up here, front page, back page, you name it. They treated the way Mourinho came to England, and this is a special one in this, and they set him right up there. Mourinho, and they hung it. Everything Mourinho said, they printed. You know, they were.
Yeah, but that's not Mourinho's fault. It's not Steven Gerrard's fault.
But Mourinho loved all that. But then they shot him down.
Gerry,
they shot him down big
Gerry,
time.
how many years has it been though that anything Rangers did was highlighted, was questioned, that was, you know, can it be legal, can it not be legal? And you and Collins are still saying to me on a regular basis, where's the money coming from?
Where is it coming from?
Well, that's not, you know, you see, you can't have it both ways.
All I'm saying is,
you know, what you want to have your cake and eat it. You want to have your cake and eat it and then pump the baker.
No, hey, Lenny's more successful manager, right? Celtic are the treble champions, right? And
well, Gerry, we know that. You don't have to keep ramming that in here.
It's about Steven Gerrard. It doesn't matter what Steven Gerrard says.
I'm telling you.
They fall about like a wee collie dog. That's what they do. So
yeah,
Celtic
well, hang on a minute. Before they got here, if Brendan Rodgers came to a dead stop, half of them would have been up to their shoulders in shite.
What do you mean?
Because they were that far up his backside. Brendan,
I wasn't.
Most of them were.
Well, I'll tell you something.
No, Brendan Rodgers he didn't appeal to me much.
The start of that press conference yesterday when Lennon came in wasn't what we expected it to be. Well, we're all totally dumbfounded with it, and I particularly wanted to see what his reaction was. And he sat down, he knew exactly what he was going to say.
Yeah.
That he wasn't, you know, accepting that again for the press. And he says, all you've talked about is Stephen and it's Stephen and it's Stephen and it's Stephen. He says, you know, you think my players weren't needing that during the week? You think we weren't having team meetings? And then obviously, boom, Charles Patterson, big Charlie got it, front page slapped. Naughty kid going sit in the corner, and he then came back he tried to come back. Charles Patterson was pretty weak with it, I've got to say, Bill, but you're right, you're talking about fear to go near managers and what have you. Yeah. They all stood there, the Record, the Sun, the Star, they're all there, Bill, right, and they're feared to ask him the question. But not the old Bob Smith, the old smudgers in there like a dog eating beetroot, right? He's in the old smudgers in, you know, and he asked the question. So I says that to the end there, you know. But you need to tell, and the worst thing is telling Bobby done well, because he talks about it for about the next hour. I done well there, Hugh, didn't I? I done well there. I says, you did, Bob, you done great, Bob. But I wish I hadn't to tell you.
I think it was just hankering with Neil Lennon. It was disrespecting his team and the club, and that's what he felt. He's quite right to go out and say it.
That's not Gerrard's fault, that's not the manager's.
Steven Gerrard, top player, one of the best, right? He's a top player. He's came here, and for Rangers to get him was a coup. We know that, and it's been good for Scottish football, bringing him into Scottish football. You've got to remember who are the top dogs in Scotland.
No, do you know what it is? Let me tell you something, Shorty. Right? Let me tell you something, Shorty
stuff. The ones that are up there.
I'll tell you this.
Go on, Bill, get in a bit.
You've had it your own way for so long that when it starts to turn on you, you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say.
Where's it turned on us? What she's won?
Hang on a minute. It's turned on you from the point of view of the media and the press, and you don't like it.
I don't care about the media.
Well, you just sat there ranting about them for the last 5 minutes.
I'm just saying,
if you don't care about them, don't rant about them.
You know what they're like.
Well, I know exactly what they're like. Rangers get battered for years.
Far behind Stephen.
Rangers get battered for years.
Stephen's turned his car on.
And now, hang on a minute. Wait, whoa. Brendan Rodgers. Brendan
don't care
Rodgers.
About Brendan Rodgers.
No. Brendan Rodgers couldn't do any wrong. Brendan Rodgers used to go out every Sunday morning and take a wee walk across the Clyde.
Did he?
According to the media, he did.
Oh, well.
No, you don't like it when it's boots in the other foot.
Brendan Rodgers brought a lot of bad players to Celtic. Signed a lot of
that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
A lot of Stornoway puddings.
So, Brendan Rodgers...
I see that half a black pudding that Roddy was good enough to get me. And you thought
Roddy
you were getting... I'll tell you where you're getting it. Right up your jacksy.
Oh, that's terrible.
Roddy for the Ireland was good enough
Rodgers,
to give
you were fine when Rangers were getting battered by the press. You loved it. Couldn't get enough of it.
I know.
Go on, get stuck in, boys, get stuck in. And then when it all turns, then when it all turns when Steven Gerrard comes, you turn it round completely.
I don't read the papers.
Says he reads the Celtic news. Celtic views, you know.
Celtic view, I said.
Celtic are close to signing Manchester United academy star Whoop Whoop Leo Connor on a permanent deal.
Whoopie do,
Yeah.
Whoopie do. No.
Can I take a? He's a right back. Can I take a break, or do I have to joust with you anymore verbally, Mr. McCabe?
Hey, joust me you want. I'm the one that's sitting here with the big Cheshire.
And
I've got the big coat hanging in my mouth.
Yeah, but your jaw will be wired up in a minute if I get to you.
Attack.
You better phone about 5 year pals.
Attack.
Listen, look, we seriously, we spoke about it earlier on. For me, the best team won, and they won because they showed more character, they showed more commitment, and they wanted it more. And you cannot argue with that. You cannot get away from that. Yeah. The disappointing thing is that Rangers made a fist of it twice. The expectation, rightly or wrongly, from Rangers fans was high, and they were let down. You can't get away from it.
They were quite right again in the game, buoyant, but so was Celtic, and that's.
I don't disagree with you. Celtic have scored more goals than Rangers this season, and we're top of the league on goal difference.
A few Celtic players surprised me. They surprised me with their performances, and that was my biggest fear. That when they put their foot in, when they worked and graft for everything.
Oh, they surprised me because there was more novices facing the game yesterday for Celtic than there was for Rangers, I think.
And a few of them, they stood up. You know what it is? They get 3 points. They won the first Old Firm game. They're going to have 3 Old Firm league games to go. So I don't think Celtic will be getting carried away.
Right, I'm going to say something, and I genuinely mean it because I said it yesterday on social media. See this debate and the way that we talk about it, and we can talk about it as pals, and everybody else should be able to talk about it in the same way. But this is why, for me, Rangers and Celtic is the greatest derby in the world, bar none. I watched Tottenham Arsenal yesterday.
Yeah. No, it grips the country, there's no doubt.
Even a crap Old Firm derby's better than a good
And you know who was up
Arsenal.
for the game yesterday? It's turned out to be a bit of a Jonah, and I was giving my bit of stick. Jim White.
Was he?
Jim White was in the dug. He was in there. I was going to see the dugout.
He'd love to be in the dugout.
He'd love to be in the dugout. Jim White here. Hi Hugh, how you doing? I said, Jim, I listen to you every morning. Good, I said, there's some good pundits, and I've got to talk. I've just got to be taught. I've got to talk to whoever they put in front of me. I says, well, you're doing great anyway. He says, Gary McAllister invited me up. He says, come up and sample the greatest derby in the world, Jim. Yeah, so Big Jim was up.
You can sit in the main stand. Because you usually sit behind the Rangers.
He says, I've got a ticket for the Copland Road show. He says, but I gave
season ticket for the Copland Road. You mean?
I row them.
Right, Jim, I've met Jim a few times.
He's all right. He's a nice guy. He's a good guy. Mind he was trying to deny he was a blue nose. Like, no, he just hangs.
What's the point? What's the point?
Exactly, absolutely.
There'll be a few denying it after yesterday, won't there?
Well, I certainly am not, and I never have.
I know.
But I'll tell you something. Here's
here we go. I'm going to
No, you're not. But I'll tell you something. Here's the hypocrisy. People of both persuasions, Rangers and Celtic fans, were on at me for months. Just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. You see, when you come out and say it, they tear your face off.
Well, I don't need to deny it.
Tear your face off.
I don't need to.
But you can handle that, Everybody knows you supported the Teddy Bears, and stop. See, the biggest problem you had, you're trying to cover up saying you supported Falkirk, whereas everybody knows Shug's a Rangers fan. Shug says it from the beginning, but don't hide behind Falkirk and all that carry on.
No.
Because that's.
I was surprised when he came out. I've got to say,
you might get one scarf or no
scarves. Exactly. What do you think, Bill?
I don't wear scarves to irritate my neck. You know my team, McCabe, anyway. No, that's unfair. You know my team. You know where my heart lies.
Yes, I know, Bill.
The Bankies.
I'll never forget Airdrie as long as I live. Ever. Ever.
Forgive them.
No, I'll never forgive them. Ever.
But it was Airdrie United, wasn't it? The way they called themselves, didn't they?
Well,
it was a scam.
It's very difficult for us, to defend, what happened yesterday. It was something we didn't see coming at all.
I don't try and defend it.
I know. Well, we can't, because there wasn't much happening in our team that we say, right, we did this, we did that. It just didn't happen. One of those games.
Shug, you know in these games you've got to turn up.
Ah,
you don't turn up. Doesn't matter how.
You've got to show character.
Doesn't what kind of form you've got getting into the game. Celtic could have won 10 games, Rangers could have maybe won 2, or vice versa.
Celtic had character by the barrel load, and Rangers didn't know what the word meant.
Yeah, you've got to give the manager credit for that, you know.
Yeah.
Like when he's went out, you know, and he's, as he says, he's had meetings and he's had it in their head. Let's go out and show them that we'll be the team to beat in Scotland.
Well, it's done now for another wee while. Celtic winning 2-0 deservedly. Rangers have got a fortnight.
Didn't you say that with a smile on your face, Bill? You said it with a heavy heart there.
Because it is a heavy heart for me, Gerry, but it doesn't take away the facts. The facts are the facts, and you cannot live in denial. And the fact is that Celtic were the better team by a country mile. They showed more character, more commitment. Rangers have got a fortnight to stew on it. It's going to be a big test, because let's not forget the last time this happened, when it was at Celtic Park near an international break, they came back and dropped points to Killie. So Rangers have got to come back and prove a point. I don't know what the next fixture is.
It's Livy, mate. Livy at home.
Oh, so it is. It's Livy at home. So, you know, no, it's Livy away, is it? No, is it Livy at home? Sorry,
I think it's at home.
It's on the sheets. I've just not looked.
Livy home.
But anyway, that's going to be a big test for them.
Yeah,
and they're going to have to show character.
Yeah,
and they're going to have to come back from it. And that's the way it's difficult. That's because you've got that fortnight to sit and stew.
And you've got that long now to wait for the next Old Firm game. That's the thing, you know, where you really can obviously gain on one another with those 3 points. The big pressure is on Rangers now to drop no more points. I think, you know, when you look at the fixtures, look who's coming, you know, fast and thick and fast, and then European ties and what have you. You know, but again, you know, let's not get away from the fact, and I think there was a lot of quietness about Celtic's brilliant result on Thursday as well in Stockholm. You know, 4 goals away from home in Europe.
Especially, you know, losing for it, you know, against
Cluj. Well, that could happen again, because you've got them again, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know.
See, the thing is, Celtic will not take their eye off the ball, and Rangers can't afford to take their eye off the ball. That's the thing.
Well,
the two of them are playing on the Sunday now, when they've got the
Thursday night games.
Thursday. Yeah. Whereas
this is one. I'm sure this is one of your pals and Collins's pals, Gerry McGurk. Is that one of yours?
Oh, is that Big Gerry?
Bill, you talk a loader and put a louder instead of load.
Is that Big Gerry?
Gerry, spend last time spraying your name up against walls and go to school and learn how to spell, son. Can't listen to this Talk Rangers show anymore.
Is that Big Man for Hamilton?
Big Gerry.
No, I don't know who this is. It's
Gerry, keep it switched on. Big Gerry, my God. It's Big Gerry. He'll tune into right to the end, you know.
Anyway,
he'll be chatting my door in 10 minutes if Bill starts any more threat.
I don't want to threat this boy. He's a big boy. Gerry,
my God.
Gerry's pal.
Good lad.
He's a big boy.
I'm away to take a break now.
Have a Kit Kat.
Where is the Kit Kats?
Have a quick crap.
I thought the losers always bring in the biscuits and the cakes.
Crap.
Did the losers always bring in the biscuits?
No.
That's what we used to do in
but here's what we're going to do. See, during the break, I'm going to go and get one of my big black puddings and we're going to bend you across the desk.
Scottish rugby is on the up, and Rock Sport Radio is following this resurgence by bringing you The Line Out. Every Wednesday evening from 8, Lewis Stewart has one of the best contact books in the business, which means the people who really matter in Scottish rugby give you the latest news and gossip on Scotland's most trusted rugby radio show. Get into the action with Lewis Stewart and The Line Out, Wednesdays from 8 p.m. on Rock Sport Radio. Love music, live sport.
Have you ever lost money on an investment? If a high street bank persuaded you to buy a stocks and shares ISA, unit trust or investment bond and you lost money, Goodwin Barrett can help you get back thousands of pounds in compensation. Even if you don't have the investment anymore or the paperwork, Goodwin Barrett make it easy to find out. Text GOOD to 66777. That's GOOD to 66777. Goodwin Barrett. You don't need a claims management company to make a complaint, and if unsuccessful, you can refer it free to the Financial Ombudsman.
Do you hear that? That's your family coming round to your new house for Sunday lunch. Your son opening the door of his first home. Visitors arriving at your guest house. Friends coming over to watch the football. Scottish Building Society offer a range of mortgages, so we can turn this into this.
Hello!
Scottish Building Society. We've been helping people open doors since 1848. Call us today on 0345 600 4085. Scottish Building Society is authorised by the Prudential Regulation Authority and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority and the Prudential Regulation Authority.
Leave the winter outside with Plumbase's hottest offers in the Feel the Heat brochure. Get yours at your local Plumbase branch.
Plumbase is the place.
Love music, live sport. Talking football with Bill Young, Hugh Burns and Gerry McCabe on Rock Sport Radio.
Okay, boys, Aberdeen 3, Ross County 0. I thought Aberdeen looked really good, although Ross County still, for most of the match for me, looked as if they were playing in championship gear again.
Yeah, I actually watched the highlights this morning, and it was all Aberdeen, wave after wave, and doesn't help when Billy Mackay's missing penalties and
missed a penalty.
what have you, hit the upright.
And the boy Stewart hit the post. I see, this is a strange thing. Aberdeen win 3, but it could have been so different if Billy Mackay scores and the other one that hits the post goes in.
Well, it took them 62 minutes to get ahead, and then, as you say, 2 goals in the last 7 minutes. Gallagher and
I
Anderson.
like the boy Viner.
Yeah, aye.
The back.
He looks good. I don't know if they got him in loan for somewhere.
I don't know, but he looks really, really good. I like him.
Yeah, he looked the part and he bombed forward, and just generally again with a couple of decent results. Maybe Aberdeen, Devlin's back in there as well. Fit him and Considine in the back of the big centre back being out with the hamstring. So yeah, Ferguson put his sail about. Ojo
got the penalty, didn't he?
Got the pen. Yeah, it was a penalty. Laidlaw's come out and just committed suicide there. But asn't a good run of results for County, Bill. It's listen, welcome back upstairs. One of them, and they better start winning games sooner rather than later, or they're going to be down at the lower reaches again. So it's going to be difficult. They know that they're playing against better players, teams that are organised. And they can't just certainly take their eye off the ball because they'll lose football matches.
Well, I thought Aberdeen looked really good.
Yeah, see, the biggest problem Derek's got is the consistency with Aberdeen. Many a time you've seen them, Bill, getting good results, then going a couple of games and not getting results, then the fans start to get a wee bit restless again. Get into the international break, you'll be delighted with it.
Good one.
But as Shug was saying there, Ross County off to a great start in the season, beating Hamilton. Then they've I saw them at Partick Thistle and they didn't look a Premiership side.
13,000, always good to see.
But to be fair, Gerry, it's teams like Hamilton, St Mirren, St Johnstone that they've got to get their results against.
That's who their battle. Yeah, you're right, Bill. That's who their battle is going to be with. Aberdeen have always been formidable at home. They've had some poor results as well over the last couple of seasons, and I think Derek's the problem with Derek's got, he brings about 3 or 4 loan players up, then he's got to start again the following season. He loses them and he's got to find the players to replace these players. The boy Cosgrove again been scoring goals. I like the boy, right? As I said, he went to loan to Dundee last year, and I says this boy's a bit of a player, and I felt that he was a signing that could have kept Dundee up, but for with wide men you don't know what you're getting them, but when they're on their game they can win you the game, but when they're not on their game they can be a bit of a passenger and a bit of liability. But again, when you look at I would expect Aberdeen to beat Ross County. Aberdeen will get much better players.
I would have hoped for better from Ross County, only from the point of view of and you can see it when clubs even come up from the Championship in England and go into the Premiership, and they're there for maybe a month or two, and they're standing waiting for the ball to come to them rather than going to meet the ball. And that for me is one of the things that Ross County's doing. Yeah. They're waiting for the ball to come to them rather than going to attack the ball. Win those second balls.
I think when you look at it as well, guys, when Ross County being so commanding in the First Division or Championship last year, they've went with much of the same again this year.
That's a good point.
And all for the chairman, who has been magnificent, Roy McGregor.
Yeah, he backs him.
You would have thought that Kettlewell and Ferguson had maybe won the trust of, right, okay, let's go in, let's dip our toe in the transfer market here and bring in 2 or 3, I don't mean marquee signings, Bill, but signings who are better
quality
than what they've got. Yeah. And sometimes it's cruel to be kind, sometimes they're maybe showing too much loyalty to the guys that's got them up. But these guys might not be good enough, and these guys,
that's a very good point, Shug.
These guys might be the guys that will get them back down again if they don't add quality, and they've had that option to do that, and they've not done it, Gerry.
Yeah.
When was the last big signing Ross County made? I don't mean that big signing, but go, by the way, why are you there? Would Graham Dorrans be interested in going to play with Ross County? It's still Premier League football. They'd look after him financially. Players like that, Bill.
Well, they signed Ewan Henderson on loan from Celtic today.
Was that did they sign him?
Well, that's a good signing. That's better than what they've got. That's a crank signing, Bill. That's what they should be doing. But Bill, that's what they should have been doing earlier in the season, before the season started.
I remember when.
But I think sorry, Gerry. I think you nailed it. I think there is a certain degree of loyalty to the players that got them there, because that's the kind of club Ross County are.
Yeah.
And I think maybe sometimes that's going to be to the
too nice
detriment.
sometimes, Bill.
Too loyal.
When you see guys that still stay in there, Michael Gardine, who I felt could have went to another club and played. I think we were interested at the time at Dundee, and he is a Dundee boy. But when Jimmy Mack got the job, when he first went in, remember he turned it round because Roy gave him money. He says, "Look, we need to stay in this league," and they did stay. Remember, on a tremendous run. But he brought guys in like Davis and all that, and they were on good money. There was named players he brought in, and they stayed in the league. And
well, that should have been proof, Gerry. That happened for them then, didn't it? They got better.
But the thing is, I've got to give them a bit of extra money up there because where they're located, and it's always hard to try and get players up. But what they do is, Roy definitely backs his manager, and if you get in and say to Roy McGregor, I want to sign this player, and it's going to cost such and such, accommodation.
You're trying to get a deal done.
He'll do it for you, because that's the time, and he loves the club. But I don't think they've got the same quality players now. I think they've still got championship players. Although wee Gardine and that's in there, Graham's there, and the boy Phobel Foster's went back. I thought he'd a bit of a torrid time.
But you would actually think that in a strange way that the chairman would go to the management, and go, listen, we need to stay in.
Yeah.
I know it's the end of the season. We've got the championship here. Let's buy our safety. Let's buy our safety. Let's out buy Livy, Hamilton, St Mirren, because I'm wealthy enough I can do that, because I don't want to be back doing that championship again. Let's buy quality.
Probably with Mac and wee Doddsy there, they had good contacts as well. Down south, Doddsy had a few contacts, and they were getting better quality players. I don't know if the two lads that are in charge
I've got
these contacts.
Right.
Whereas, but surely they'll be getting phone calls every day from different kind of agents. But whereas Maka and Doddsy and that, they knew the experience of who you would deal with. Their agents will just want to throw players into you for the sake of getting their players.
They knew the right ones to deal with.
Whereas, no, we need better quality than that.
Yeah. Well, I think there's just a wee bit too much loyalty. It's the proof's in the pudding. They look flat already. 4 games in, and they look as though they could be struggling, Bill. And I think, they got the result against. I think they gave Hamilton a doing, didn't they? They beat Hamilton 3-0. And for then, it's not really clicked.
Then they went to Tynecastle and drew.
They drew.
But then
it's faltered for then. But
I seen a bit for Albert Shuggan though. They were nothing.
Aye, you told me that. Aye.
Yeah, they weren't. They
lost that eventually. No, they won 3-2. They
get put out.
They get put out
3-2, but 3-2. They didn't look a class above.
No, well, that should be, looking against Thistle right now. They should have been sticking out like a sore thumb, and if they're not doing that against them, then I don't think he's got his troubles to seek there. But yeah, too much loyalty. Nice guys that are the managers, and I'm sure they know what they want. And then, as Gerry said, the chairman's always all ears when it comes to better than his squad. So
I think we've got to go back to Aberdeen though and come up with the situation that you were talking about, Gerry, and that is consistency, because of course that consistency early on for Aberdeen, and let's be fair, Aberdeen have not been great. Even starting this season. Now that's a good result, but it's against Ross County, and I don't mean any disrespect to Ross County. Aberdeen have got to do that against better teams, and they've got to do it on a regular basis. And I'm still not convinced. I mean, they look really good on Saturday, but I'm not convinced they can do that week in, week out at the minute. I still believe, and it's only a personal opinion, I'm not sure he's bought as strongly during the window as he could have, Derek McInnes.
No. Well, as I say, every year Derek's got to sort of a build. He's got to bring 4 or 5 players in, and is he getting the better? Is he getting quality as equal as what he had, or are they as good? Are they better? I don't think they're better. But he's trying to get the best out of what he got. I know they're getting into a new stadium and new facilities and all that, and they've got a great support at Aberdeen. Really, they should be the 3rd best team in Scotland. I know Hibs are a massive club, Hearts are a massive club. But Aberdeen, they've been up there, they've won things. I feel if Derek doesn't get the best out of what he's got this season, I think he might be looking to say, well, maybe I've took Aberdeen as far as I can go. Maybe need a new challenge.
Are you surprised that he's maybe not come to that conclusion before now?
Yeah, I am, but maybe he feels get into the new stadium, the new facilities, and he wants to
be there.
He wants to maybe start a new era. But whether he does, I think it all depends on what he does this season.
Great goal, did you see a free kick that worked on it in training ground?
Yeah, it was very good.
The work with Tony Dock. Did you see it, Gerry?
Aye, yeah.
Great turn, the wee guy's peeled off at the edge of the box and he's just laid it into one of those. It was a kind of Jordan Jones cross for Morelos, a very, very similar cross, and it's just needing the touch. Great finish, well worked.
Yeah, very good indeed.
And that came to fruition. Yeah.
Right, let's move on to Hearts against Hamilton. It was a 2-2 draw, and you wouldn't have known this, Gerry, but I'll ask you tonight, because one of the points I said to Hugh on Friday was if Hearts drop points against Hamilton, does that put real pressure on Craig Levein?
Yeah, I think so. People maybe listen and think I've got something against Craig Levein. I've not. I'm just going. I'm looking at Hearts at what I've seen from last season and this season, and I'm not improved. And they're saying that they're a big club, and they keep saying he'll get it right. He'll get it right. The fans, are no daft. They've been voicing their opinions since last season, not just this season. And they thought, right, okay, they got. Was it 6th they finished last season?
Yeah,
6th they finished. I'm saying, right, okay, see what his recruitment is like. I like the boy Glenn Whelan who he's brought in, but I've watched Hearts again, and there's certain players, they don't get the best out of. They go missing in games. I know the boy Sean Clare scored the goal and he's given all that, and he's, I'm the man here. I'm saying, where have you been the last 12 games or something? That's the Hearts fans will demand success, and I think Levein's just getting away with it because Hibs are equally as bad right now.
Yeah, again, that was something that I picked up with Neil McCann. He spoke about Sean Clare, got his goal and then stopped playing.
Yeah.
As I say, he does float in and out of games, predominantly stay out of them and doesn't come in and help them. But, looking at their team there, they're all 5s and 6s, and I think the top player, strangely enough, surprise, Sean Clare, 7.
Did you see Hamilnaki's first goal?
No, I didn't see their goals.
Boy, Berra and how could the two of them get mixed up?
The boy for the Beeb interviewed Craig, and is it Brian McLaughlin? No, Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah.
And he says, he's a very good interviewer. He doesn't, he's got a lot of respect for managers. You can tell that he's old school, and he's saying, that Craig, you can hear the chants yourself. How long can this continue? With the run that you're on, and do you think you can turn it around? He says, I set my team up, he says, but I don't set my team up to make mistakes, individual mistakes that players are making right now. He says, once I got all my players back, judge me then, I can turn this round. And he was adamant.
Yeah, but you see, I'm going to disagree with that to a degree, and I agree that he doesn't set them up for individual mistakes. But Craig Levein historically, and I don't care what anybody says, primarily still sets up his teams not to lose. There's a difference between going into games not to lose them and going in to win them.
Yeah, he's got that name. It's quite dull.
Here's the thing, and I think I'm right with this stat. I'm sure Ewan will correct me if I'm wrong, but if you take the last few games of last season, I think they're now on. I don't think they've won about 2 games in the last 16.
Yeah. It's been a horrendous run.
That's going back from last season. It's about 2 games from the last 16 or 14 games.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all.
That isn't good for a club like Hearts.
No, not at all. And then obviously it doesn't help things when the talisman's out, Naismith. And something, I thought about something the other day. I don't know what I was doing. I was thinking about the game and different things, and Big Levein under pressure, and you read it. It's probably reading it and what have you. But would it be the case that Naismith signed such a long contract that maybe get a chance of the job?
Well, you never know. If he wants to go down that route, I just think
to tie him there, Bill.
You know the club better than me. I don't think under Craig Levein they're ever going to play flamboyant football.
No.
And I don't think he's going to attract the best players. As I say, I know Whelan's been a good signing, but any of the Flair players I thought were there don't seem to play with any Flair. And they just play it in a system, and I think they play within themselves. Or that's the best they're going to get out of them.
Yeah, you get that feeling. But then Hearts can turn it on very, very simple as well, because they've got quality players there who I don't think he's getting the best out of.
Yeah.
Right, here you are, because this is good. It's kind of a wee bit further on from what I was saying, but the diluted Jambo, who's cancelled his monthly payments and will continue when Levine gets punted, and I know I'm not the only one. Same excuses is beyond a joke. We have the third best squad on paper, in my opinion. Here, listen to this. This is actually very telling. Last 24 league games, won 5, drawn 5, lost 14, right? Scored 24, conceded 40. This includes 1 loss and a draw to each Livingston, Hamilton, Dundee and St Mirren.
Yeah, it's poor.
It's shocking.
Yes, yeah.
5 wins.
And he did say again
in 24.
He did say in his interview that defensively they'll be able to go and work on the defects of, past performances, and maybe we'll get better with that. But that's a lot of losses. That's 14 losses.
Shug, if your midfield's playing well and servicing your own players, attack's still the best form of defence. Then you're not going to put your defence under pressure. The reason that they're getting in such a state at the back is because they spend that much time parked.
Yeah. The Jambos like free-flowing football. The Jambos want to sit on the edge of their seat, shouting their team on, same as the Hibs. So you're right. The fact that Higginbottom is maybe hit a bit of a sticky spell right now at Hibs. It's
saving Hearts. They're cancelling each other out. Mm-hmm. The fact that Hearts are not doing it's keeping Higginbottom's neck out of a noose at the minute.
Yeah.
And the same with Levine.
Yep. And yet, a couple of weeks ago, I was singing the praise a bit for the Friday night performance against Munnell, because I thought they were really good.
Did. Yeah.
And I says, that's the best I've seen Hearts, but...
Did they have a go at Fir Park, Gerry?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, maybe it was because it was a cup game. I don't know. But they went out and played with a bit of freedom, and the boy Conor Washington was causing problems, and Hearts deserved the result that night. But you look at the turnaround Munnell had since then. They've won the last couple of games, and they're playing some right good stuff, and whereas Hearts have seemingly been back away.
I better give we Liam his place. You were on about loyalty to players might hurt Ross County. Well, Budge loyalty to Levine is definitely hurting Hearts. He has no idea what he's doing. He let Cochrane go out on loan to Dunfermline. He should be starting ahead of Clare in my book. He has got to go for the good of the club. He will go from a club hero as a player and manager first time round to the Hearts version of Bertie Vogts. I told you about using that name.
Well, young Liam there is obviously very passionate about his club, and it's great that he's tweeted in and gave his opinion. But as long as Anne Budge is writing the salary checks every month, then she's the one that's going to make the call with Big Craig, and there seems to be a bond there that again.
But she said nobody's bond-proof.
Well, again, he used that at the weekend as well. I heard you saying that, and you've got to start winning games. 14 losses now out of 24 is no good. 5 wins, 5 draws, 14 losses. It's pretty bad reading, and he'll know that. He's a big proud guy.
See if that was your win record and you were going for a job, you'd be the last person that was coming in as the candidates.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You've got to be lucky. I think managers have got to be lucky that they've got a good working relationship with the people who own the club and the people who make the big decisions. If there's any drama between Craig Levine and Anne Budge, then he's well gone. But the Hibs thing is saving him, and vice versa across the city.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So
who's the boy Cochrane? Did you say was away?
He's away to Dunfermline, and there's 2 of them away. There's Cochrane and who was the other boy that went? I'm trying to think who it was.
You mentioned another one.
There was 2 went last week. It was Cochrane and somebody else.
No, it was a bit
McDonald.
McDonald.
Cochrane and McDonald.
There's a guy who's come onto the scene, Cochrane. Everybody sees going to be the next best thing. What's happened to his progress? I know he got an injury.
He got a bad injury.
But then he was back and he played at a large part of the...
He's fell out of favour again. There's no doubt about that.
But I mean, does that do him any good for his... Well, he needs to go and play football. But what's happened to this boy? How has he not progressed? The boy Hickey as well.
Well, you said that you thought they were going in a lot of the time he was playing them because they'd get the plaudits for play for blood and youth.
Yeah, well, I think he was doing that to save the wrath of the fans.
To stop people actually drilling down and seeing what was actually happening.
But Hearts are the club, Bill, where take the old firm out of it, and they'll feel as if they should be up there.
Definitely.
And they'll feel as if, it wasn't that long ago, Big Lafferty was doing the business up front. He's now, I think, away to Norway. Naismith's come in on the back of a loan spell for Norwich and definitely
I was
galvanised.
talking about money.
Lafferty was talking about he fancied going back to Tynecastle. Have they missed a trick there?
Yeah, well, I've looked at it. It was at this time last year they got his move, didn't he? You know, remember he scored against Celtic.
Do you think his personal problems and the way it affected him at Tynecastle previously, they just looked at the baggage and thought, too much heavy lifting there?
I think somebody else, you know, they've bailed him out before, haven't they? And they said they need that problem again. I don't think.
Yeah, they maybe thought there was too much heavy lifting with that one.
Maybe Craig Levein says, no, I don't want to go down that road again. Or maybe somebody above, maybe Anne Budge says, no, we've already tried to sort things out there with this guy. See, the other thing, you know, the best goalkeeper in the league last 2 seasons, the boy John McLaughlin, one of the best, sorry.
Nah, but he's at Sunderland
He's
now.
at Sunderland now. And they've lost that, and I don't think they've really replaced him.
No.
And I know the boys sort of, they were going to sell him for money, and that's fell through. I just feel there's a wee bit more problems at Hearts.
And I think defensively as well, I think he might be showing a wee bit too much loyalty to Berra.
Here's an old story. Allegedly, Levein had a Barney with Cochrane's dad, and they had a fallout.
Oh, well.
Boy, maybe asking my son wasn't playing.
Well, it's an old story, boys. We've heard it before. We've seen it before.
Yeah, it happens.
It's not unusual.
Some fathers do get involved, some don't. But you know, no smoke without fire.
I stress allegedly. Yeah. Listen, let's go on to Hamilton and Chipper. I mean, I saw a lot in Hamilton. They deserved the draw. There's no two ways about it. George Oakley, you know, he's been a great signing for Hamilton. He really has. But do you know where I think it falls down a wee bit with Hamilton? By the way, Kent agreed terms and passed medical. So there you go.
There you go, Gerry.
Celtic will be shaking.
What's that smell?
Celtic
will be shaking.
Jerry.
Kent agreed terms and passed the medical. So, but listen, going back to Chipper and Hamilton. I think there's a flaw with Hamilton, and I think I've worked out what it is. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get them to play a certain way as a team. Their best players are best when they play as individuals. They've got a couple of cracking players in that team that really play
by
well.
The way, the big boy Oakley, he's doing them a turn.
Is he not?
And you know what I liked about Chipper's interview as well? As much as they were talking about how Hearts didn't do well, he says, wait a minute, I'm the Hamilton manager. I'm proud we had enough chances to win the game.
Oh, they did. I thought Hamilton were great.
He says, we're not getting a lot of plaudits here because, you know, we've came to Hearts, you know, pretty much... Yeah, a point back through the road, you're over the moon. But the way the game panned out, we were the better team. We should have won the game. I'm disappointed I'm not down the road with 3. We try to be positive. I told you I was trying to turn it round a wee bit. I'm getting there. Still players that I want to bring in, players that maybe need to move on. Chipper speaks well.
I just think he's got 2 or 3 really good individual players, and they get stifled when they play the team game a bit. I think he's got to give them a wee bit more freedom and let them do what they do, and then the team kind of get round it. Do you know what I'm saying?
They're always getting into games battling to get a result. Whereas, you're right, he's letting them play with a wee bit of freedom. Yeah, I like Chipper's interviews as well. He says, win, lose or draw. You know, we always,
no excuses, Gerry. No excuses.
And we just move on to the next game.
That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. No excuses. I'm glad you brought that. No excuses, and we move on. We dust ourselves down. He says, because see at the end of the day, Brian, you're no Brian, you're Bill, but this is him getting it. He says, we're Hamilton. We're Hamilton in the Premier League. So it's like sometimes you need a wee bit of reality check, and Chipper's got that. But Chipper's positive, isn't he? He's funny. He'll be good in the training part. I don't know. He'll be right hands on. Who works for him there, Gerry? Anyway,
it's Boozlin. Remember the boy? He worked under Martin Cannon.
Right.
He played at Hibs. A good lad.
Right,
he's a good lad.
Right.
The thing is, he's got a great point away. Was it unexpected? I don't know. Hearts.
Well, I actually don't think it was, because we discussed it on Friday night, and we thought, because that's when I said to you, if they do drop points to Hamilton, does it put extra pressure on? Because we were of the opinion that we felt that Hamilton could take points from Hearts at the weekend.
We thought maybe home advantage, needing that all-important win. You know, we did say, I says to Bill, I think he's one result away for the Denmark. And he went, honestly, do you think that? I went, aye. Mm-hmm. I says, and I obviously was sitting watching the results coming in at my mother's having my tea, and she went, well, that's an bad result, isn't it? I says, Mum, I was saying to Bill last night, I says, I think he's one result away for. I says, it wouldn't surprise me. There's a release tonight saying that he's lost his job. Now, He's drew with Hamilton, no disrespect to the Yankees, but he's drew with Hamilton and he's still got his job. We're not reading about under severe pressure here today. There's no other back page saying that they're going to be making a decision. So you would think now he's still going to be in charge over the international break and take the next game.
Well, he's banging his own drum saying that I'm the man, I can turn this round, I will turn this round. But usually this is where you see the sackings, the wait to the international
They've
break.
got 2 points.
Gives them a couple of weeks to get somebody in.
2 points?
They've got 2 points. They've not won a game.
Out of 4.
Yeah.
2 out of 12.
Yeah.
Not a great start. Nothing
As
really.
win ratios go, and that's what everybody looks at these days.
Yeah, and
it's
again,
poor.
they'll just be wanting Naismith back. It's bad timing that he signed his deal when they're struggling and they need him in the team.
Yeah, but Hugh, here's the thing, and we spoke about this at the time. You've got a situation with Naismith at his age, and he's in good nick, he keeps himself right, but he's picked up an injury again, and I think it's a similar injury to the one he had. But that was it not a hammy before?
I think it was a hammy.
Oh no, it was a knee injury before, I'm sure. But he's got a hamstring injury now, right? He seems to be picking up a lot of injuries. They've given him a 4-year contract.
4-year deal's baffling. Yeah. For me, that's
that in itself, for me,
age,
for a manager, calls his sanity into question.
For me, just my opinion, just having a think about it, they might be looking at keeping him long term and maybe move in the dugout.
Naismith.
Aye. Wouldn't it surprise me? To have somebody on a 4-year deal is just mental.
Yeah, the injuries he's got.
32. Right, 32. How do you manage that? There's a tie in there. In my opinion, there could be a tie in that. Well, you'll get the job.
What do you think, KB?
I don't know. Well, there's maybe something behind it. Maybe if that's the way he wants to go and to manage him. Maybe he's negotiated this contract and saying, well, I want to begin into the coaching, so I want to start my coaching here. And when you've got an experienced player like that and it's coming probably at the twilight of their career and they get a contract, they're saying maybe this is, they're thinking, seeing the bigger picture here. If it's not going to work for Craig Levein, I've got an experienced player that can come in here and take over and see where it goes from there. Mm-hmm. I might be wrong.
He got his badges and stuff.
I think it'd probably be trying.
And Lockie's there as well, his backup if need be. He might even bring Lockie back down and work with it. There you go.
They've got the boy Austin McCann there, and I don't know Austin McCann.
To know Austin McPhee.
Sorry, I used to Austin McPhee. Sorry, I'm thinking Austin McCann that used to play him. Mm-hmm. Austin McPhee, and I don't know if Austin McPhee's. Is he a coach or was he a fitness coach? I know he's always barking orders and he's always in Levein's ears. I honestly don't know. But I look at the Hearts team, you're saying, who's saleable in that team? Who's an asset to them? Boy Hickey, young boy. But when you look at the rest of them, could you get any money for it?
I think the better one is there's too much loyalty there. Craig's showing too much loyalty. He's got Suter who's came in and out with injury. But
people are supposed to be watching Suter for the last couple of seasons. I've watched him myself, but I think he was struggling in England, I'm being honest.
Well, they're struggling all over, and it's not looking good for the big game.
Well, he was being linked with Rangers last season at
Suter
one point.
was supposed to be watching him.
They don't play in England.
No, I know that.
As much as they'd love to, but they don't play in England.
Eventually. Man in the match, anyway, reading through the wee bit of the paper. George Oatley, the Hamilton striker, netted a brilliant double to take his tally to 3 for the season. Oakley fully demonstrated his pedantry. Penalty box instincts. I've seen him. He's got good pace about him as well, Gerry. He gets about.
Chipper worked with him up at Inverness.
He said that in his interview.
He's come in and done him a right turn.
Put in a tireless shift for his side before he ran out of steam, but he left the pitch 15 minutes remaining. His contribution had given the side every chance of a point. So, over the pace, I think Hamilton well deserved the point. Possibly could have been 3. And, I think Big Christoph Berry said, I think he was getting a bit of stick for the manager. Defensively, everybody, collectively, they were all getting a bit of stick. He said, but it's just water off a duck's back, getting a bit of stick. Yeah, singled out his defence for criticism, but Berra says, water off a duck's back. He says, that's just what happens when you have a bad result.
Well, St Mirren
getting a flat answer,
Well, the way I see it is very, very simple. They must have been having a lot of conversations like that at Tynecastle recently because they've had a lot of bad results.
Defensively, a wee bit. Yeah, under pressure.
Well, it's a great point. With St Mirren getting beat and Ross County getting beat because let's not hide away from it. This is the teams will be battling down there at the end of the season.
Yeah, 100%. But I think
Johnson could be there as well. Yeah.
Still looking at it, pre-match on Saturday, Hearts at home to Hamilton, regardless where Hearts are, Gerry.
Yeah.
There'll be some decent earners in that squad.
Maybe that's just showing you where they are now and where their confidence is.
Confidence is very low. Maybe I think for that point of view, it might need a change, might need a freshness. But But I've always, I don't know anything about Austin McPhee either, to be honest with you, but that long hair does nothing for me.
Yeah. Especially when he's a guy.
Not that I'm jealous or anything, but
we're sitting here talking about win ratios, and all he's worried about is whether he's got a short back and sides. Here's some boy.
I can't remember any other good coaches with long hair. Can you, Gerry?
Well, Robbie Nielsen had long hair at the time when he was at Hearts.
That's what I'm saying. Good coaches. His team done well Friday, I've got to say. 6-2.
Livingston 2, St Mirren 1. So
seen the goals.
a wee bit of encouragement for Jim Goodwin against Rangers, but going to Livy. By the way, I don't know if Holt's out of hospital or not, but I hope he's on the way to recover. I think he did something with a weight or something.
He says it was doing weight training. I don't know why. I hope he never done weights when he was at Kilmarnock, so I don't know where that one's coming from.
But anyway, I hope Holt's back on the road to recovery and everything's okay.
And he wasn't there on Saturday?
No, but he was expecting to be back at training today.
Right, okay.
But I'm not sure if he was or not. But
Bad result for St Mirren, Bill.
But a very good result for Livy, because as we spoke about Ross County, St Johnstone, St Mirren and Hamilton, these are the battles that these teams have got to win, and Livy have come through with flying colours.
They have.
And I have to say, I thought they looked pretty good for their money. Yeah,
I'd seen the goals, 2 good goals, well organised. Obviously David Martindale would have took the team with Gary No there, and must have been absolutely well chuffed. That game against St Mirren is probably bigger than entertaining the Old Firm or Aberdeen or Hearts or Hibs.
No, I agree.
Where you're maybe just expected, but those games. And again, I was surprised because when we had Jim on at the start of the week on the back of, playing so well probably against Rangers and maybe just getting, turned over and had a chance later on, you would have thought going into that game you'd got a wee bit more out of them. But Livy get 2 ahead. And then the young boy scored a great goal for St Mirren, slewed it into the top corner. Young Kyle McGuinness, great finish.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Well, the young boy Sean McLaughlin, we had him at Dundee in trial. Irish boy, he signed with Hull City, and Gus have got him up on loan. And the first goal, he's run under it, and like Alan Lithgow's just headed it in.
Alan Lithgow.
Yeah, so. That young boy, he made a big mistake. Then the second one, he makes another. He goes to tackle and he just leaves his body. He doesn't even have a foot in, and the boy takes him outside and cuts it back, and the boy Dykes puts it in. And I was listening to Jim Goodwin, and he was right. It was very poor defending, and obviously Jim being a defender himself, have a serious word with the boy. Try, then again, he's got to help the boy, but
he did get turned.
He got turned a couple of times. But he was saying that I don't mind getting beat if we get carved open, and it's a good move and that. But it was definitely cheap goals. Then St Mirren got the sail back in at the boy McGuinness, great curl shot into the corner. But you look at Livingston, get into the international break, 3 points up at Ross County last week, 4-1, and winning again before it. So they'll be getting in there.
All is good, Gerry.
Yeah, confidence is up, because when they lost Gallagher and they lost Halkett, I says they can struggle this year. But
when you look at the team, Gerry, you've got Dykes, you've got Chris Erskine, you've got Lawless, you've got Bartley. They're good players.
Yeah, they're good players. Lawless done very well at Partick Thistle. Erskine's been there, back and there and back again. The boy Stobbs is the one that scored last week, his debut goal. Yeah, I think he's recruited well. Definitely, as I say, I feared for him a wee bit. And Big Alan Lithgow's still there at the back doing his job. Scoring a goal on Saturday. But when you lose top players like that, and last year the defenders, they were the 2 top defenders, Halkett and Gallagher. I mean, you lose them, then you're saying, can we replace them? But he's brought a bit. He's brought the players in that he feels that can keep them in this league. So I hope they do, because he's went in there and done a great job. And they're sitting pretty again. Yeah,
no, they're doing fantastic, again, and no big spenders, no much expected, but after the players that have lost, hard to. I like the boy Lithgow at the back. He's solid.
Yeah,
get a long throw as well. He's a big asset to them as well, and
just does a job. He's a defender.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can see another good season for him if he hold on to it. Obviously, well, that's his team now. He's got to build around it. But the big boy Lyndon Dykes, I think that's a double he's got. He scored the week before as well, and got him up loan, I think. But I tell you what, all credit to him.
I was listening to Boy David Martindale after the game. Obviously, he was in charge for Holtby being in hospital, and he was saying this was what we're all about. We'll dig in, we'll work hard. That's what they've got a good work ethic, and that's what you can ask for the players. They don't nothing fancy about them. They all know their jobs and they complement one another.
But that's what I've said about Livy last season, and I'm going to say about them this season. Livy don't try and be a team that they're not. They play to their strengths and they don't apologise for it.
No.
And neither they should.
No, but they're pleased in the eye as well. There's just
I think they're a better footballing team, and I thought they were decent last season, but I think they're a better footballing team this season. But Livy will adapt to whoever the opposition is, and they'll give a good account of themselves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. They've got some match winners, and Will Lawless is a match winner. Erskine was on, and
Erskine's getting the ball at his feet, Gerry, in the box.
Very good
In the box.
And these guys will score. If they get the opportunity, they'll score goals. But he's just saying he's got a good mixture there, but he knows his strengths. They'll still be Holt, they'll still be thinking our remit is to stay in this league.
Yeah. What about Jim Goodwin? Because obviously you would have thought they'd have taken quite a lot from the fact that they kind of narrowly got beaten by Rangers. And, for a large part of the game, they frustrated Rangers. He obviously feels now that there weren't that many that he needed to bring in. Because we asked him, I said, you said you needed 4 or 5. And he says, well, I've got 4 in now, so maybe 1 light. So he's got what his kind of compliment is, and he's happy with that. But he's obviously got a bit of work to do with him, because as you say, and again, I suppose it comes back to Craig Levein, you can't legislate for people making errors.
No, he did say that his squad, he felt, was fit enough and strong enough to see him through, but again, as much as we're talking about what a great result for Livingston to be beating St Mirren, again, that's a game that Jim must have been sitting going, come on, we can go to Livy.
Yeah,
we've did well. Okay, I think 3 points they had.
Well, we asked them about it.
3 points out of the first 3 games, which wasn't you're not detached. It's not a bad start, but to go and lose like that, and I think obviously Kel McGuinness gave them a wee window opportunity to get back into the game, but
see, this is his squad of players. He'll be looking, he'll say, if they get me through to January, then I'll know where I am. If I've got a few points on the board, can they go? Many players they'll have to bring in. If they feel that he's drifting a wee bit and they need strength, and then I'm sure he'll go and try and get the players in January.
And Big Gary McKenzie, sorry for interrupting, Gerry, has slammed the referee, Colin Stephen, who's I think quite a new referee, and his assistants for a performance that was all over the place in Livingston on Saturday. McKenzie was booked as his frustrations got the better of him, but the 33-year-old admitted he couldn't hold his tongue. And he says, listen, I'm getting a bit of stick for this. He says, but there were some baffling decisions when even the players were asking what was happening. It was just bemusing. So maybe a referee, as much as we're talking about Bobby Madden, having a good one, but the looks of this, I don't think the boys did that well at Livy. So,
all right, let's take a break.
You lose a game, innit?
Yeah, aye. Sure gets a wee bit.
Right, here's the game. I was at Bill.
Well, we'll do that after we have a break.
We're having a break, Bill.
We'll take a break and then we'll come back to you. See, amazing how quickly you boys think you run this show when you start, eh?
Yeah. Great when you're enjoying yourself, isn't it? After you've had a good weekend.
Who's enjoying themselves?
Well, after with a good weekend.
Loving it.
Right, looks like we're going to have to use Black Pudding number 2 this time in this break.
I've not seen Black Pudding number 1.
We're going to no, you'll not see it where it is now. Just wait till you get up and try and walk out to the office.
Let's Hear It for the Girls looks at every issue affecting Scottish women in Scottish sport, from the participation to the administration. Maureen McGonigal leaves no stone unturned on all the issues affecting women's sport in Scotland. Focusing on sport from a woman's perspective, Let's Hear It for the Girls salutes the stars of tomorrow and the legends of today. Catch Maureen every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. only on Rock Sport Radio. Love music, live sport.
At Motorpoint, we put the super into car supermarket. We're here to save the day with a choice of over 7,000 low-mileage, nearly new cars. Find your next car in a flash with our lightning-fast service and same-day drive-away. Plus, with Motorpoint's price pledge, if you find the same car for less, we'll match the price and give you a £50 Amazon voucher. Visit Motorpoint Glasgow today, just 2 minutes from Junction 3 of the M74. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
The list of things you need to do gets longer at this time of year, whether that's for the house or in your business. So tick one thing off your list right now. Your septic tank could need emptied. Let Grant Henderson Tankers empty your septic tank in the home or work, farm, factory or workshop at very competitive rates. We are septic tank specialists, experienced, safe and dedicated to environmental safety with our own licensed disposal site. Find out more at wemovesh.it or call 01698 284 987. Grant Henderson Tankers. Let the experts manage your waste.
William, Pamela and Anthony were sold investments by banks and ended up losing money. Luckily, they contacted Goodwin Barrett and were able to claim back a total of £65,500. If you've lost money on an investment sold by a bank, even if you no longer have it or the paperwork, just text GOOD to 66777 to discover how much you could be owed. That's GOOD to 66777. You don't need a claims management company to make a complaint, and if unsuccessful, you can refer it free to the Financial Ombudsman.
Love music, live sport. Talking football with Bill Young, Hugh Burns and Gerry McCabe on Rock Sport Radio.
Right, Mr. McCabe, as you rightly said before we went to the break, this is a game you were at. I'm going to steam right in and you can slap me down. I thought Motherwell looked great, and I have to be honest, even though it was highlights I saw, I like the look of this boy Seedorf. I think he's got a bit of cockiness about him, a bit of swagger, and a bit of skill.
They started it, I think the two teams, there wasn't much in it the first 5-10 minutes, but I tell you what, once you see Motherwell getting in about them, and Hibs had nothing to offer. They nicey football, but nobody putting their foot in, and it's a couple of long range shots. But once you see Motherwell get into their stride, I like the boy, as I say, Scott. I think he's a talent, you know. And I'll tell you what, give Motherwell credit. They're unearthing these boys. They've always bringing boys through. Obviously, the boy Turnbull and Hasty away, but they seem to produce these guys. And the boy Seedorf, first goal cuts in, big witty. I felt sorry for him, you know. He's lost that bit of pace. He got took on the outside just before it. Or was it just after it, and the guy left him for dead? But when he's cut in, he slewed it bottom corner. After that, there was no way back for Hibs. I don't think Hibs had really a chance. Scotty Allen was trying to go in the ball and try and create. I think he created one for the striker. Was it Canberry, and a weak shot. But after that, nothing to offer. And you can see the Hibs fans. You know, they were getting behind the team. They were singing and they were trying to give them every encouragement. But then the second goal, and it was a penalty kick, I think it was.
And what was he thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. See, when he's went up, and I'm looking, and I'm
what was Jackson thinking?
You actually seen him putting his hand up and going like that. He actually blocked the head, and I says that right away. What's going through his head? What's going through his head? How does he think he's going to get away with it? That was the problem. But you know, Motherwell could have been up. Scored before that. I like the boy Donnelly in the middle of the park. You know, he works and he's a good striker of the ball. And they look very solid at the back with the boy Gallagher coming in and working with Hartley. And the other one, the boy Grimshaw, he doesn't get a lot of credit, but I tell you,
I love Grimshaw. I think he's a great
right back, Gerry.
I think he's a great back.
Work something down. You know, there again, they're another team. Motherwell had to move players on. They've lost the big boy Keeprate. They lost Curtis Main. This boy Long looks a decent player. Shug. And I know he gets substituted. The boy Hilton, when they seen him, he scored the third goal. But I tell you what, they've got a good squad of players there, and if they can keep these boys fit, I said that, you know, I think they'll be in the top six.
Declan Gallagher bombing on.
Declan Gallagher getting the ball, and he's very comfortable on the ball, and they'll get the balls into the boys that can go and play. Polworth as well. I honestly, they've got a good balance about them, and I've enjoyed watching Motherwell. I did last season. I watched Motherwell, and I says not a bad side. When the boy Turnbull in, I thought he was I thought he was a bit of quality. But I'll tell you what, they've got a good work ethic as well, and they create chances. And all of a go, the boy Scott, great touch, and I think he'll only improve. I think he's at the right club right now.
Gerry, let me ask you this. I mean, I've watched the Hibs team since the beginning of the season. I saw a couple of pre-season friendlies at Hibs as well, and I'm getting the impression that with the midfield, one player shines in each game. They're just not gelling as a complete unit. You get one player that kind of sticks out, and he's doing it and he's working away, but the rest of them are just not keeping pace, and it kind of goes in some kind of rotation where it's a different player each time.
Yeah, you know what Marlon's all about. Marlon like the set piece and the free kicks.
Yeah, and he hits them well.
Yeah, he hits them well, but you've got boys like, but they're sitting in there, they're nobody running on beyond. Camberry's the guy, when they get the ball up to him, he's looking for players to run beyond him, or a wee lay off and get the ball and get himself into the box. But they're struggling at the back. Bill, the boy handling.
I thought they were poor at the back.
Yeah, the boy Jackson, I seen him against St Johnstone last week. He looked no bad. But Whitty, as I say, as much as I like Whitty, he's been a top pro. I feel like he's struggling a bit now in that position at right back. Middleton tried to go and create and get the ball. He likes to try and be direct. Scotty Allen will try, but everyone's in front of people, everyone's in front of the opposition, and they don't hurt them. And I was reading Hecklebottom's comments, and he was saying that they're too nice, and that's what I felt on Saturday. They're nothing. The wee boy Campbell, you'll see him, he'll put his foot in.
But they're too nice because he's put them together.
Yeah, that's up to him. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think he's got to get some more out of the players that are playing there. But I felt Motherwell worthy winners.
Three nuns are doing, innit?
I thought Motherwell were great. I thought they were absolutely outstanding, and I thought their movement was good. They played with a degree of confidence. They've got players that can hurt you.
Yeah.
That'll go at you. And again, these players that take other men out the game. And I thought Motherwell looked really good. And it's an easy place to play for Park now when you see that surface.
Yeah, it's a pity about Stephen Whittaker as well, who's been such a great player, and he still believes that he's got the legs, but the paper doesn't lie as well sometimes when who's doing it. David McCarthy obviously is one of the top writer, and he's gave him a 4 out of 10. You don't usually see that, Bill.
He never get much support on that side from boy Horgan helping him, but and the boy Marciano had a couple of right good saves as well.
Aye, but he let one go through him as well.
He was 8 out of 10 as well, so he's gave him 8.
I think he's a decent goalie. He's quite I don't think he's the biggest, but he can get to where he needs to get to.
Yeah, it's a bad result, and there's just lack of confidence, and the manager will be, at the end of the day, the manager wasn't there that long ago when he came out and said, "This is my team now. I've assembled a squad over the summer that I think's fit enough and good enough to go and win football matches." But Motherwell always just unearthed gems.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Honestly, I've enjoyed watching them.
And you would think that even the manager's stock's rising all the time because there'll be people take note of that. And again, we've spoken about the Hearts thing.
But you like to watch them. I like to watch managers. There was a shot of Stevie Robinson, just in the highlights even, where his team were on top and they were doing well, but he was not happy at a couple of things.
Yeah,
I like to see it because he's very demonstrative, and you see it and he shows it, and I like that.
But even in his interviews, and you just need to listen to it if you're driving, and and he's 100 miles an hour, and he's in there, and he's dissecting everything in about 2 minutes, and he's in big time talking about why you put your face like that.
I didn't know Stevie Robinson was from Cornwall.
Right, you know what I mean. No, but he is. He's passionate in everything he does. And
listen, all of us tipped Hibs to do really well, and a couple of us to be a top 3 club this season. Where the hell has it gone wrong?
See if you're asking me right now, Hibs need about 5 or 6 players.
Really?
I kid you not.
But here's the thing, with a Hibs fan on.
Recruitment hasn't that strong then.
Here's the thing, guys. We had a Hibs fan on Twitter the other week fuming that pretty much halfway through the window, Heckenbottom said, "That's us done. That's our recruitment done. We're finished."
They needed more.
And they weren't going for anybody.
No. Well, I tell you what, looking at they need a massive injection of fresh talent. Telling you.
It's a bit, pressure's on them.
Because the boy Boyle's been injured, and they do miss Boyle, but I like Middleton as well. But
and who's the other one that's not there as well? Porteous.
Porteous has been injured.
Ryan Porteous.
Well, at the back, they look very, very weak at the back.
Well, we said that handling. We didn't know Jackson was playing. Maybe it's usually McGregor. Is McGregor injured as well?
I think he's injured.
So, that's a back two he can go with McGregor and Porteous. I know, again, limited with the pace. Lewis Stevenson's not getting any younger. Great left foot.
He's about a 7 out of 10, Lewis Stevenson, every week. But See, when your several defenders are not playing like that, then it gets through the faulty.
And Stevie Mallon I've always liked anyway, but he's must be injured as well. Did he play, Stevie Mallon?
Stevie Mallon played.
Yeah, he played.
He did 6 for 10. Yeah.
But as again, Scotty Allen's getting very frustrated because he starts going deep looking for the ball.
Was Middleton direct? No, did he?
Yeah, he tried to go forward, and he's got a good left peg, and he was trying to be direct and try and get balls in.
But you see, the thing is, Hugh, because they're not going forward from the midfield, he's getting so far, and he's having to come back and then try and look for a man. And Canberry for me is not an out-and-out striker. I've said it last week. I'll say it again. I think he's a number 10.
Yeah. He's more of a link-up player.
Playing way a poacher.
Yeah. But they'll not play. I don't think they'll play the two. Sometimes he'll maybe throw the other boy on. But I felt boy Grimshaw was just running, and he was actually taking Middleton that way.
It's amazing how managers now just don't play two up front in it. It's just.
Well, I've always said it, especially see if you're at home. I know they were away. And
have a go.
Go and work defenders, because sometimes defenders get it too easy. They're playing against one striker.
Yeah,
and it's too easy for them to get out. It's too easy for them to get out, But great result for Muller, deserved it.
Well, it was points on the board for Killie. They went to McDermott Park at the weekend. They came away 1-0 winners. You could see Alessio's delight at the end of the game. I think he kind of thought he'd dodged a bullet, because if that one had gone wrong for him, I think he might have been in the Levine train.
Yeah, I would think so.
But, for me it looked a fairly even game for most of the time. I thought Michael O'Halloran looked lively. Few chances. I think a couple of them he was ill-advised to take on his own, but a couple of times he was quite close as well.
Yeah, it was a fantastic result. He needed that. It's just pressure going into that. It's just, you can see for all to see, there's his picture there when the final whistles went, and you can see he's all over it. But it was maybe something that we looked at it and we couldn't really make our mind up with that one. I think I actually went for a draw, but Stephen O'Donnell being the goal scorer. Stephen O'Donnell has watched
a few goals.
Yeah,
because he just bumps forward.
Aye, Stephen O'Donnell has watched on with pride as a little man earned a big move to Celtic. Now the right back has warned that former Kilmarnock teammate Greg Taylor not to get too big for his boots, and he's saying, listen, I need to keep playing. He's going to. I got a feeling that O'Donnell doesn't get on with this manager, Bill. I've seen it a couple of times where I've seen him.
I'm not sure many of them do.
No, I know that, but when you go and win, it makes it certainly a bit easier to deal with. I'm looking through his team here. No made any. Alec Bruce came in and played at the back as well. You were telling us that Broadfoot's away at St Mirren. Obviously, didn't fancy him, and I thought Broadfoot did okay as well. But I believe Gary Dicker was their best player. Liam Miller as well, the boy that's on loan from Liverpool. That's man of the match.
I think the boy Power, him and Dicker, they complement one another. In the middle of the park.
Definitely.
Me, Dominic Thomas, I liked. I seen that boy at Airdrie, and I says it's Murrow, and I thought he would go to be a right top player, but he's getting a wee chance at Kilmarnock now, because I thought he was going to be there then leaving. So Kilmarnock, they've got some decent players, and this boy they brought in, Del Fabro. Seemingly he done okay on Saturday. No, the disappointing thing is for Tommy Wright here. They go to Easter Road and they deserved their point. Yeah, they definitely deserved it last week. So he's at home game against Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock been struggling. Let's go and try and kick on from here, and it's not happened. So you can see how disappointed, and he's probably saying to himself, I'm going to be in for one of these seasons. I'm going to get a result here, then I'm going to have 2 or 3 bad results. And if that's the case, they're going to end up fighting down there in that bottom 4.
Well, the Stevie May factor didn't really kick in when you thought it might have as well, and he was on the bench. I don't think they started with him.
No, he came on.
He came on.
Yep.
Dre Wright, the wee winger that he got for Colchester, had a good start last season. I think he came on as well. But as you're saying, Michael O'Halloran stuck out here ratings wise with an 8, and Anthony Hegarty for the records gave him an 8, and he's obviously done some decent stuff. But you're right, on the back of getting that wee point, you're going, right, we kick on, we beat Killie, we're in the face, but it just doesn't seem to be happening for St Johnstone at all, Gerry.
No, that's what I'm saying. The two of them hadn't won a game, so it was one of those ones you're saying,
what's going to give?
Would you went for St Johnstone because they were at home, but it's a bad result for us. It's a setback for Tommy, especially getting into the international break, because he's got to stew in this for a couple.
Yeah, you just get the impression, does Tommy maybe need a wee change now? That way where been there a wee while, it's kind of topsy turvy up and down, helter skelter. There's never any there's never any continuity, there's never a run of results. Okay, I mean, last year they went on a great run, and then it was a good job they did run, because they get dragged back into it.
That's right.
So it's important that he gets his players fit, gets May fit, gets Dre Wright in, keeps O'Halloran fit, and one or two players have had a bust up with Ricky Foster, who played with Ross County at the weekend, and a wee bit of Foyt there as well. So
see like St Johnstone's, and they've got to have their main players fit, and if their main players are not fit, then they've not got players that can come in and they'll get them through it, and saying they're not there the same bit of quality. So he's probably got about 12, 13, 14 at the most players that he needs to rely on.
But Gerry, I don't think enough of them have changed over the last 3 seasons. I think there's a stagnation about St Johnstone at the minute. I really do. You don't see much change at St Johnstone, and as other teams get stronger, they seem to stand still.
The Stevie May one, you're going, well, they'll eventually get that over the line, but
he scored 3 goals in about 14 games.
Yeah, I know he's not going to be prolific for them, we know that, but again, it's still a bit it's a big signing for St Johnstone, where when was the last, when we went there, like Tony Watt was the one that started decent a year past, and then that fell by the wayside. But there's been nobody went there and went, that's a good signing for them.
I just think it's a stagnant squad. I don't think there's enough players have come into St Johnstone over the last 3 years.
Yeah, they all see me. You would say that you could pick St Johnstone.
People like Chris Kane and things like that.
Murray Davison, Middle Park, get picks up injuries. Big Shaughnessy, he went away.
It's just the same old every season.
Yeah, I thought Shaughnessy was a decent big centre back. The boy they sent for Aberdeen, who was playing right back, but then put him in at centre back.
Is he away now? Is he off?
He's away at Southend.
No, there you go.
Yeah, went down to Southend.
And them that does do well, they're going to move on.
They're moving, and they're going a better deal at Southend. I know where they are, but they're not doing that well. I've got to say, Southend. You don't get a Southend job. The boy Kevin Bond.
No, it used to be at Man City and Norwich.
Harry's assistant. He went everywhere, didn't he?
For some job.
Because they sacked the boy Chris Powell. He's in the happen for him, and then they brought Kevin Bond in. So. Strange one, but
by the way, I've been asked to ask you, has it happened yet?
What?
Have you put your application in?
No, but I get some amount of phone calls last week because of you.
Not because of me, it's because it's the right thing to do.
It was on Twitter.
It's the right thing to do. Why are you not doing it?
They're interviewing people. I'm sorry, I've not got the time now. And you know something, I would love nothing more to see the Bankies up there again.
How do you mean you've not got the time just now?
I've just got other commitments. And if I can't give 100%, then I would be kidding myself.
Well, no, I agree with that, and I respect that, and I admire that.
Are they having interviews, are they?
Aye, they're looking for a new manager. And Gerry was last week contemplating chucking his hat in the ring.
But who was the manager there?
Success.
But he's decided
against it.
against
it was a boy Mick he's left.
Oh, is it?
He's left. Shocking. But
so you can say categorically now that you're not applying for the job.
Categorically now, I'm not applying for the job.
Okay, well, there'll be a lot of disappointed people. Because I've got to be honest with you, social media went daft last week.
I love the club, and I hope they get back there. But if I can't give them my full attention, then I would be kidding myself on kidding the club on. So sorry.
Well, no, you can't be fairer than that.
But I'll tell you what, they got there. I'll be going to support them. I'll get my Banky scarf back here. I'll get my Banky strip if it still fits.
Have you?
Oh, aye.
So did you actually get a few calls about it?
Oh, aye. Yeah. The boys that was on Twitter. I was looking at the boys that come from down that way. They were.
So where did they? What league are they in now? They're in the juniors, aren't they?
Aye.
They're trying to get in the pyramid. They're trying to get in the pyramid.
They're waiting for home park to be finished, redeveloped and sorted, and then they're hoping that by that time, that they'll have this West League sorted for.
But the Yokers no still own home park.
No?
Yokers still. Yeah, they still own it.
Yeah.
Are they sharing it?
Aye.
Oh, but it's. I hope things work for them. I definitely do. It'd be great to see the Bankies up there again.
Definitely. Here.
When we went and beating the teams like the Rangers and that.
Well, I can't say I'm not disappointed.
I know, Bill. Sorry, but as I says, I had a good think about it, and I was just had to be honest with myself. And
the wife's not letting them. That's the bottom line.
It's my mum that's not letting her. I'm her sofa. Every day of the week, every night of the week. Drop her off at the pub.
Peter's, he's not going to get her.
Aye, yeah.
Report it missing.
No, he just phoned me. You're going to take my mum to the pub. 95-year-old. He's out 7 nights a week. She says, "How do you know good, son?" I says, "Because I can't go for taking you out." Pick me up.
Well, okay, all right. Listen, going back to Tommy, I mean, bottom of the league now. Been a while since you've seen St Johnstone holding up the rest of them, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's flat, and it tends to be in our script every week. There's nothing ever positive coming in, out of St Johnstone.
No, not these days.
I'm thinking they'll be thinking that the Stevie May will give them a wee boost, a wee pop and get them going, but I can't see it, Bill. He never done it at Aberdeen, and where's the guarantee he's going to do it at St Johnstone?
All right, quickly, Greg Taylor for Celtic, good signing, Gerry.
Yeah, as I say, I like him as a full-back. I know the money, but if it's reported if they've paid the $3 million, then again, he's been one of the best full-backs I saw last season.
Yeah, tidy.
So, and he's going to a big club and he's ambitious, and he'll get his chance, because I don't think they're just bringing him in for the squad player.
Shug, Ryan Kent to Rangers. I think I know your answer to that one.
Well, it's been, a long time coming. We didn't think it would go over the line, but he did say last night there was 2 or 3 going, which obviously Doran's maybe another, but nothing coming in. So I think last night maybe the money men have went to him and went, listen, we can maybe get the money together here for, I think, by the way, a lot of credit's got to go to Liverpool as well, because I would imagine financially they would have helped get that over the line for Rangers with the connection with Stevie Gerrard in Liverpool. But better than what they've got, and creative, which obviously was big time missing yesterday.
Jones will find it harder now to get back in.
Yep.
You're right. That's it, boys. Thank you very much. I'll see you both later on in the week. That's it for me. Alec Horsburgh will be here tomorrow night. I'll be back on Wednesday with Ali Graham. Tape's up next, so if you're into Speedway, stick with us here at Rock Sport.
Love music, live sport. Talking football with Bill Young, Hugh Burns and Gerry McCabe on Rock Sport Radio.